Welcome. We are in Pirates Session 2 in Wildemount as some reverie misfits are making their way to who knows where at this point, to a mysterious island that seems to be overgrown. And as you guys as you guys are making your way in your boat, followed by this little coconut boat that is has some sails made out of little stuff. Yeah, just kind of keeping pace a little bit, kind of tied along with you. Maybe you're towing it around. You're starting to get the immensity of this island. That is interesting. It is a small island, but you can already see that the kind of the palm trees and different jungle things going on are about 100 feet high. 100, 200 feet. They're just massive. Which is going along with the story where they said that things have started growing out of control. And there's been this massive increase. So yeah, as you guys approach it, Sandbars, how you are approaching, and you just tell me, guys, take it from here. What are you guys doing?
Well, I was going to go ahead and in the boat start doing the ritual for detect magic, so that when we landed, I'd have that up, so that, because apparently we're looking for some object that fell onto the island that did this. So I figured I'd have detect magic up when we landed.
Okay. Yeah, we can probably time that so you get about 10 minutes of it once you get on that. That sounds good to me. Anybody else? Anything else anyone's making it's going?
Would I be able to pop out like my little scope out of my navigator set and see if I can do any, like, survey the shore at all?
Definitely. Just make a perception check, and I'll just kind of make that standard for you.
Well, it's going to be a 10.
A 10. I would say with the it's interesting when you get on it, it's super close because things are so big, and you do see that there. I would say you pick up that there is an inlet coming in, and the rest is extremely dense jungle. And I guess when I say dense, it's like a lot of, like, there's trees that are grown together at points, almost forming walls, because it just seems to have gotten big. So it's not like very well spaced or anything like that. It's kind of growing on top of each other, and so some of it looks almost wallish, but natural.
So like natural, but like hyper growth, like just insanely too much growth in too short a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of, I would say, that. And then Mal, what did you have there? Mal.
I was gonna say, as I'm rowing, because obviously I'm the muscle, air quotes muscle. Just mutter in Elven. Anybody speak Elven? Might be useful to have a second language around. Anybody? No one. And then back in common, I'll just say, never mind. Just wanted to ask.
Excellent. And then Stola doing anything?
Actually, she was, if there was any type of stoves or anything to cook with on board, she was going to try to prepare some treats if she could, like beforehand. I don't know if I
yeah, I'll let you do it beforehand because you're on a rowboat,
right?
So that'd be a little difficult, but sure. I don't think you roll for that. You just make them, right?
Yeah, you make them and you.
Yeah, we can say that you were able in the prep time to get the treats going and have that. Yeah, absolutely. So with that, you guys start to become a little bit inshore, at which point the little coconut sailboat kind of cuts ties with you. As they had mentioned, they do not want to go on the island. It seems to be toxic to them at this point. And they do kind of yell out like, if you follow the inlet, you might come to the tree port.
Tree port. Did he say tree port?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I heard Shreveport, but that's just me.
I don't think we're going to Louisiana.
I do see that inlet over on yonder, and I kind of point out to where I had my scope viewing that inlet. between that like copse wall.
Yeah.
Mal, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, we
Slightly
can
adjusting course, just a little bit.
start in there and
Okay.
um
Yeah. I would say as you start to get in there, you everyone go ahead and make perception checks to see how we all see some of this.
that is a 23.
I rolled a 1, so that's 4.
13.
Sweet 19.
Okay.
It's a 13 and a 19.
Excellent. One thing as you guys are looking around together, you notice that there is a slew of pieces of coconut, like just kind of strewn about, like small coconuts. And as you're looking around, you see that there's a bunch that are like half or quarter made into ships. Some that seem to have been like stitched together to make like a house here or there, but the house seems abandoned. And so you see that there was something kind of going on, that maybe this was some type of like, at least where like shipyard essentially, that they would be making what they were looking at. But as you continue through, I would say at the beach, you notice there's a few feet where things don't seem to be overly enlarged. Like you see the coconuts there, and there's like kind of like regular sized grass. And then as you move, probably about like 5 or 10 feet into this inlet is where you come across these trees. And it is at this point, you realize they aren't trees, that this is grass.
Oh.
That this has grown this tall as you're just pushing your way in. Now over to Tonk, I would say as you have your detect magic spell going on, there is a distinct magical effect affecting the island. So there's just like one huge aura that is happening here. And
I'm assuming transmutation.
I believe that it is. I'm going to double check because it is specific. I don't want to mislead you here. And I wrote this down. So exactly what's going on.
Does that ritual tell you? Like what
display
family
magic
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily tell me the spell, but it does tell me the school.
Yeah. It tells him the school, but I just want to make sure I have the right school for him. Yeah, that is transmutation is what is coming off of it. And it's a very, I would say it's almost blinding. Like it's the point where it's hard for you to pick up real detail because of the power that's coming off. And where you are right now, you see that it just gets like thicker and brighter as you get into the inner island.
All right. Well, that's the way we need to go.
Like towards the middle, like inland, basically.
Yeah. Like I point towards where I see it's kind of the brightest, which I'm assuming just towards the middle of the island somewhere, like that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you follow the inlet a little further, and what's interesting here is that kind of cut out of just this very, very like little area are still small of these Ohatu people Hotu people, that they're huddled in these coconuts, and it's kind of weird as you look closer. They seem like more insectoid here. The other ones had more human features. These have more insect-like features happening to them. And I'm still using the same perception, and they immediately kind of notice you and kind of arm themselves, and they start kind of chittering and starting to communicate. And one thing you do notice is like on a few of them, it's like they might have a really like 2 foot long antenna going on, and then another one has like a finger or two that's kind of disproportionate, as if they're being partially affected by what's happening.
Hmm.
But you see them begin to kind of rouse and start to like pick up like little spears and axes and swords. See, they do have some clothing, like flower clothing and grass skirts and these types of things.
Well, we're obviously close enough to hear them. We come in peace. We're not here to hurt you, unless you hurt first.
You hear one kind of come back in a surprisingly low voice, and you realize they actually have this little horn that they're speaking through. As they're gonna go, "Who are you? How do you approach?"
Who wants to take the lead on this, guys?
Well,
I look over at Thola like,
I'm not too familiar with these types of people, but we got word from some friends of yours, we believe, in coconut boats.
What did they tell you to come for?
Well, they said that this island might be cursed now, and we wanted to help out and make sure that everything was okay.
Right. Make a persuasion check with advantage here.
All right. Oh man.
I'm just fits around fiddling with some of my
All right. First one's a
ear
14.
bits.
and my hands are a long way from my swords.
Okay, and
Gotcha.
so I'll take the 14. The other one was a 7.
Okay. You hear Mike kind of mutter something in a language you don't quite understand. Sounds like a lot of insect chitters, and you see kind of spears lower, and that type of thing. At this point, just as you're kind of beginning to approach, what you do notice is that the forest around you is moving. And in this jungle, there's like vines are kind of in and out. And as the O2 realize this, they just shout, "Prepare yourselves!" And I need you to roll for initiative.
Uh-oh.
Damn it. Here we go again.
Did we happen to long rest before that, or is this just like a continuation of the night prior?
You would have had a long rest, yes.
Oh, okay.
If you did not take one, I think you guys took that. So
I mean, you can rest on the boat while I'm rowing. Like, it's not that hard.
Okay.
all right, let me just make sure I get this. I'll give you guys 1 second here. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so Mal, what'd you get?
All of about 5.
5. And Thola?
7.
Nice. Tonk?
17.
There we go. And Jajal?
11.
11. Very nice. Okay. So as we start here, you see the forest part, and there are it's as if it's like almost this combination of this walking rose bush, as it's kind of these vines have made themselves into a humanoid shape, and then it's just very spiky, and it has like, you can see like kind of there does seem to be features and eyes around it, but it just is looking around, and as it sees the group of you, just begins to charge. And we're gonna say that Mao, you kind of being on the boat, it's going to look at you first.
Yay.
So there's so you guys see there are 6 of these that are coming out.
Oh
And
boy.
there's the first 2 coming out. First one goes ahead and kind of starts to keep a little bit of a distance from you, Mao, and kind of like takes a breath in and kind of like squeezes like kind of his body as needles just kind of fly out towards you as it projects needles. And that will be a 19 to hit. I believe hits. For 7 piercing, as they just kind of like get all within your forehead, a few in between the things of your armor. It's like each one isn't necessarily damaging, but it's just there's so many that were able to pierce different areas. At that point, another one kind of like takes another like line along the shoreline, getting a good angle at you as well, and we'll let loose their needers for 21.
And I'm down.
And that's 7 piercing that go out.
That was 21 to hit, right? Not 21 damage.
Right, 21 to hit.
Okay,
not
sorry.
the
You had me
damage.
for a second.
No, and then
All right,
7
so
piercing.
Got it.
And then with that, Tonk, it is your turn.
How grouped up are they?
So I would say that 4 of them were in a party, and so they're still grouped. Other 2 have taken positions that are each about 30 feet away from the main group.
Okay. Right. So are we still in the boat at this point? Is that where
Correct.
we're at?
You've been negotiating in the boat. You're in the middle of like this. It's only like a 3-foot wide thing here. But yeah, you're just in this really small inlet. So you guys are extremely tight and grouped.
How difficult would it be to get out of the boat onto the bank?
Oh, that'll be hard at all. You can just jump on now.
Okay,
Totally
cool.
easily.
So I'm gonna hop out onto the bank. I don't want to go all the way up to them, but I want to get close enough, maybe 20 feet away or so.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop my Eldritch Cannon.
Nice.
And this time, instead of a shoulder turret, I'm actually dropping it as a mobile platform. So it's size small with legs.
Nice.
And so that's my action.
Okay.
And then the Eldritch Cannon, it's going to move so that it can get as many of those 4 in a 15-foot cone as it can.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to have it use its flamethrower.
Like it. All right. Is that a dex save, I'm assuming?
14, yeah, DC 14 dex save.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. So the first 2 you're able to get full on.
I'm like, it's fucking plants.
Good work.
It's not how it always works. Not how it always works.
No, but I figured I'd try.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a good. It's good to mention that and remind. Yeah. So So this is awesome. So Tom just kind of jumps out as he's jumping out, kind of lets down this platform, and there's just these legs, this legs with a gun on top, essentially. And it just kind of like moves up and then just starts burning, and these things are like withering. There's a scream. I would say there's even like you hear like them scream, and then you feel like you hear a scream that's like miles away, like at the same time as this is happening. As they take massive damage. They're up but charred and looking awful, and the two damaged ones are going to make their move. They're going to rush this cannon and just start trying to strike at it. They're the two ones that were right in front that go next. And so they just take their claws and start clawing at this thing.
It's got an AC of 18.
Okay, so first one's going to miss that. And the second one misses. And so they're so confused because it's like dinging off the metal structure of this as there's just sparks, and they're just not able to understand to maybe pull the leg or anything. So that's their turn in action, and Jajal, it's yours.
Okay. So about I should be able to hop off and then make contact with one of the ones that's attacking the cannon, right? Like I'd be able to clear that with my movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to see if I can keep that pretty awesome flamethrower in action as long as possible. So I'm gonna draw my weapon as I'm running, kind of level it with my body, and just kind of go for like a forward thrust as I come up next to the closest one.
You got it.
And then that's going to be a 20. So 26 to hit.
Yeah, so it's natural 20. So you crit.
Yes.
Yeah, you just slice this thing. It's done.
Okay.
You stick this thing in, and it just becomes a bunch of like mowed grass at this point.
Nice.
This first one. There's just no way it's going to survive a crit.
All right. I think that's all I can do right now.
All right. Then with that, there's the next. Now this is the ones in the back. So they're going to move their way around. They're going to stay a little bit farther away, but definitely like going to move out of this what they perceived as was this blast of fire that had come out. And they're going to get attempt to needle throw on you, Jajal, as just kind of as they fly out, and that is going to be which armor class?
15.
All right, that's 11. That does not hit.
Nice.
So first one starts to do that, and then actually Stola, it's your turn.
All right, at that point, Dola will look at Mal and say, "Let's go," and she'll like touch herself and him, and she'll embolden bond each other, and then she'll get out the boat and get about 25 feet away from the main group of the creatures.
All right, excellent. That sounds good. Then this plant creature is going to take its next move again, move in to get hit on you, Jajal, or attempt to anyway. And that is going to be a 20 to hit.
Oh, yep.
For 5 piercing damage.
All right.
And they just kind of this whole almost like a like the comic thing of like a porcupine all on the side of the face. And then Mal, it is your turn.
So I'm still on boat at this point. Just watched Phillips jump off. How far away are these critters from me? 30, 40 feet?
Yeah, from where you are, you're about 20 feet.
Okay, so there's one up front in front of the cannon and 2 in the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to do like a half crouch, like get a little bit low, like reduce my my profile, pull the crossbow, and fire at the one in the back.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. So you're not firing at one of the ones that were firing their needles at you. You're going to the group that's concentrated.
Yeah, the 2 that were up front were the ones that fired at me. One of them is right in front of the cannon. He's probably gonna die this next round. We'll see what happens.
So there's 6 total. There were 2 that went wide at the beginning.
Okay.
And then Tan kind of flamed the force center. Then 2 of that force center went up to go to the cannon.
Okay, so the one in front of the one closest to the cannon is my easiest shot, probably, right?
Yes, that's true.
Let's do that.
My cannon can move. Don't worry about making it inconvenient.
All right, I got a gorgeous natural one, so I'm a 6 to hit.
Well, you can
Yeah.
add the D4 if you want. I don't know if
Sure,
that
let's
helps.
add- unlikely, but let's try it. Adding a D4. So a hold of about 2, so 6
Yeah.
becomes 8. Does it hit?
It does not. It just kind of goes. It kind of just sticks. You know, like again, there's like a multiple vines on this creature. Just kind of sticks in between.
All right, and then is there any rope nearby me by chance? Like the boat rope, the cleats, the mooring, anything?
Yeah, there's rope.
Cool.
I
So I'm
did a
just gonna
luck
go ahead
check
and
for you.
I'll piece of rope and put it in my hand just for the next round in case I want to dive off the boat or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Sounds good. All right. So seeing all this, the other two, kind of you get off the boat, there's more of an attack structure going on. Yeah, they're going to instinctively they're going to run up and try to get at this cannon. They're not overly intelligent. So they're just clawing at the cannon. One hits with a 21. And the other will hit with a 22. So we'll roll the damage here. 7, 13. So that's going to be a total of 13 piercing damage that they deliver to the cannon. And with that, Tonk, it is your turn.
It's the cannon's not looking good. It's still standing.
Yeah, I imagine
But-
one leg's probably the least off, and it's had to like shift to a 3-legged walk, and
Yeah.
it's not. They did a good number on that one.
All right, so now all 3 of them are on the cannon, right?
Just double check that for you. So there are 3 on the cannon. There are 2 that are not.
Have
Is
we only killed one at this point?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm gonna. The cannon may have to adjust a little bit, but I would still like to get at least one of them, or at least 2 of them, in another flamethrower. I'm probably not going to be able to get all of them, but like, can I move just enough to get at least 2 of them?
So are you trying to move as to not get an opportunity, or are you willing to get one?
I mean, I'd like the cannon to not get an attack of opportunity. It doesn't have a whole lot of hit points, but if it's
Yeah.
gotta, it will.
I would say to get 2, it can probably shift. It shifts enough to just get 2 of them.
Okay,
But
that's
to
fine.
get 3 would have to move
Yeah,
out of a
no,
threatened range.
That's fine. So I'm going to use my bonus action to use its flamethrower.
Excellent.
That's 7 DC 14 deck save for 7 points of damage.
Yeah, so for this one, it's not going to matter. He just crumples to dust. And then for this one, we'll make the save here. And it's going to fail its save, so it is going to take the 7 fire as it starts screeching in pain. And you can see like there's bits of it, and there's even some parts where it started to flower, and it's all just curling back and blackening.
So there's still 2 on the cannon, right?
Correct.
Of the 2, does one of them obviously look more injured than the other?
Yeah, because you just got one that was
Okay.
Yeah, the one that's just got hit by the fire.
I am going to flip the red crystal into my pistol and take a shot at it.
Nice.
Will a 16 hit?
Yeah, dead center.
All right. 8 points of fire damage.
Yeah. With that, just bursts into flames and just crumples down, starts burning on the shore. of the inlet. That is good. And will that end your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, Jajal, it is yours. So, Jajal, you essentially have two. They're not in melee with you, but they were firing at range at you.
Okay. Now, what is the local folk doing?
So at this point, you like they're kind of looking. They're hiding for the most part. They do have their spears and stuff, but I would say you get the sense they just know they're no match for these things. And they're like, it's bad, and so they're just yelling, and more encouraging all of you, like, get him, you can do it.
Okay.
Move to the left.
Real quick, I want to call out and say, we're going to get rid of these beasties, but after we're done, we're going to count on you guys to help us get all this place back to normal.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. All right. It's a deal. And so, okay, so my plan is to try to attack one that is isolated enough that I could get my sneak attack bonus. And is there one that's kind of by itself within range?
Yeah. You have your choice of two, and they're both essentially the same as far as damage. So,
I'll go for one that. Oh, you said they were both damaged.
Mhm.
All right, I'll go for the closest one.
Yeah, you got it. So you kind of go about 20 feet to your left as they had kind of tried to get range, and you close the distance to strike with your rapier.
All right, and that's going to be a dirty 20.
There you go. Roll your damage with sneak attack.
That is a 8 damage, and then the sneak attack is 10, so 18 total.
Yeah. So with this again, you kind of go right into the center, and at this point, you do see there seems to be just some type of different texture right in the center as you kind of stab in that you seem to pierce as it just all the vines and vegetation wither off, and you kind of see this kind of green and black plant material that then kind of falls off of the blade and gets like absorbed into the ground.
Oh, so that happens like immediately?
Mm-hmm. All kind of happens very, very fast. Yeah.
Okay.
And then with that is Thola.
The things you see when you don't just incinerate the corpse.
But the fire's fun.
All right. At that point, Toro will actually go run off to the one on the right. And she's going to also take out her rapier and do a little thrust. And that will be probably not anything. It's hot. It's a 10.
It's a 10. No. It's kind of interesting. At this point, it kind of takes this emotion where it begins to mimic you and your friends, and almost does like makes its body move very similar to Jajal's in the way that kind of sidesteps your rapier.
Very interesting. And
I don't like it.
Right. I will end my turn at that.
Excellent. So the one that's right with you is gonna fight back.
Oh
here.
wait. Oh yeah. I'm good.
You okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it just takes its claws and tries to streak them across for a 16 to hit.
That will miss, and then at that point, I will use a fighting maneuver and do riposte. A riposte, I say, and it's going to be my superiority die here. I'm gonna make a melee attack against it, and it's going to be 16 plus 2, and then so an 18, and then I can use a D4 if I need it, but I don't think I do.
Yeah, no, you hit him. You hit it straight away.
All right, and then I think a superiority die is a D.
I think it's D6.
6, yeah. All right, and then so use a D8 here. So it's gonna be 3, 5 plus your superiority die 2. So that's gonna be 7.
7 is enough. A similar thing where it's all kind of crumples away, and you see this black substance kind of dripping off last. So it goes in, and then Yep, there's one still up, and Mal, it is your turn.
Hot shot, crossbow. Go ahead and pull it, load it, shoot it.
Yeah.
Looks like we're at, finally, soft 18.
Yeah, hits.
And the damage will be 6.
You got it. Yeah, so this kind of slices out, and I would say as it kind of severs some of the vines and parts of the limbs as it kind of cuts through. Again, you do see there's like this greenish like ooze that starts dripping out, and then it will, yeah, as you shot it, it's just going to try to shoot right back at you, to try to take you down, and that is going to be 19
It's
hit with 7 piercing damage. So it
Got
lets
it.
out its last bit there, and then Tonk, you're up.
So there's one that's by, because there's only 2 standing, right?
There's only one standing. It's right next to the cannon.
Oh,
It didn't
okay.
move. It just let its stuff out at Mal.
well, is it? Oh, yeah, no, that's right, because Thola killed the one on the riposte. Yeah, then it's just gonna shoot a flamethrower at the thing.
Yeah, you got it.
Eight damage.
8 damage. It does make it save. It looks like it has an awful day. It's just hanging on.
Cool. Then
Like,
I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah, roll it.
26 to hit.
Yeah. So it kind of goes his knee, and I imagine at this point, Tonk kind of does a very slow walk up and cocks his gun.
For
with
6
the
points of
retro
fire
stool.
damage.
Yeah. As it just blows and turns to ash there on the sand.
Boom.
And they are gone.
Talk like
all
fire.
right. So Mal pulls forward, obviously bleeding and wheezing, looking around like, what the fuck was that?
Are you all right, lad?
I need a minute.
Tonk walks over to Will, just pulls out a little weird syringy looking device and goes,
More needles? More needles?
You want it?
Yes.
So I will cast
yes,
Cure
please,
Wounds.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
I have 10 hit points.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, I like that. You inject this thing, you kind of feel there's like wounds closing up from the inside out.
Still bleeding, but much better.
Yeah, at that point, actually, Dola's gonna get up and she's gonna say, "Try harder next time," and slap him upside the head, and also do cure wounds. And that will be not as many. That'll be 5.
Yeah.
So.
Try harder? You mean leave the boat?
Yeah, but so at that point, I'll look around. So now what? Jaja, looks like you've made friends. Maybe you can get them to help us.
Okay, yeah. So let's see. Is anyone here the leader?
One speaks up and goes, I am Holani. And he's like, I'm Holani. Our queen is inside.
Alani. Okay. Can we request presence of the queen?
Yes. You will have to take the tunnel. And it kind of snaps, and you see a bunch of little ones. They begin kind of like jumping up and cutting away a bunch of overgrown vines. and you see that there is about this like 2.5 foot hole that kind of goes into a tree, and then you just see it looks like it keeps going.
Okay.
So we have to crawl in the hole.
Crawl into the hole.
Yeah, as you look around, you see that again. It's this dense jungle here, and the inlet kind of has also kind of come to a stop where this tree port is, and they're basically that is the fastest way and safest.
Safe. Okay, I like safe.
To Kulola.
Kolola?
So while they're having this conversation, I look at the remains of the bush creatures and all of the little people in their little houses, and I turn to Mal and I go, "Looks like we got here just in the nick of time."
Yep, apparently. This stuff smells awful, by the way. Just nasty.
Yeah, I wanted some flowers, but these are not the ones that I wanted.
This is not the kind of flower you bring home.
No.
All right. Well, through the tunnel then.
Yes. Lolo will actually go. She'll go first.
No. Let me go first. As I just duck just a little bit, like gun still drawn, shield like this. I just duck and walk.
Gotcha. It's up to you, Tox. Did you want to make investigation on that as they were talking? Do anything looking at that domains, or were you just?
Mostly, I was using that as an excuse to make a Firefly reference, but you know.
Yes.
No,
that's all right. I made constant Firefly ever since I saw Mal character's name. I was just like, it's all I do in my head, and I'm like, nope. That's what it is. Designation from now on.
I aim to misbehave.
All right, excellent. So Tonks, you're going first.
Yeah, I figure since everybody else is going to have to crawl and I can at least walk, I'll take points.
It's no problem. Yeah. No problem. And I'll crawl behind Tonk.
Okay, so we got Tonks and Thola.
I could go next, or Mel. What do you want to do?
I'd rather rear guard. Small spaces, kind of tall. I'll rear guard. I'll definitely catch up with you guys.
That's fair. But we got free toothpicks, and I just start cleaning my teeth with the little projectiles that I just pulled out of my cheek. Just and then whatever.
I love it. Yeah. So, you guys begin to go down this tunnel, and at first it is 2 feet, and you realize that it kind of slowly going from 2 feet to 3 feet to 5 feet, then it becomes like 10 feet wide, and kind of doesn't stop. It kind of maxes out at about 25 feet in height and diameter as you kind of keep going. And there are like, and it's funny, is there was like really tiny lights that seem to work perfect for the two you met, but they are getting bigger, and you're starting to see that kind of this carving. It's just from like looks like trees and different things, but the lines of the tree are like getting bigger and farther apart as well as you're moving your way through this massive tunnel.
And we're staying the same size, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
I think we're all thinking that.
You want to make an investigation check? You want to make a perception check, I guess?
I'll do perception, no problem.
I was definitely
not terrible. 17.
Felt like I read about this before, and I did also, was looking into that and got a natural 20. So, but
okay, excellent. So natural 20. I would say it is really hard to tell. I would say that you kind of feel you're the same size. You haven't felt anything affect you. I would say, Tonk, we're going to say your detect magic was at its very last, and you did not sense anything magical come onto all of you. but it is very hard. But it would make sense that with as the enchantment's being described, as everything's been happening, that this wouldn't seem totally out of the ordinary as far as that. It makes sense with what the story has been told.
Oh, also, just for the record, my cannon sticks around for an hour. I would have spent probably a minute or two repairing it, and by that I mean casting mending.
Sure.
To fix the cannon so it's at full hit points. It's with us walking.
Perfect. Totally gotcha. Yeah, so you kind of reattach that leg, and now it's moving on its own. Ding, 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 ding. So yeah. You make your way, and then you start to see you see daylight at the far end of this tunnel. As you go through you spend about half an hour traversing this. It just seems to be going on and on and on. And you begin to see like kind of as you're getting closer to the mouth of the tunnel, and you're kind of the darkness of the tunnel and the bright daylight is changing a bit. You're seeing like your sized creatures walking around. You're starting to see just the outlines of what you're assuming to be buildings.
What do these creatures look like?
Sure. So also you continue all the way through, then unless there's something else you want to do. And you finally kind of stop right at the mouth of this street, and you see there's this massive terracotta city that is before you. It almost looks like there's all these it's almost like a towering termite mound of twisted spires and this hardened material everywhere. It is one of the highest towers you see. Looks like they could be anywhere from like 1 to 200 feet high, made of this terracotta material that's working around. There's these colorful windows like those of a cathedral that dot sweeping balconies, and there's these flying buttresses that are moving, that are around, and it's clear the city extends nearly as far into the earth as well. You can kind of see it kind of go down into caves, so that you're right now the upper part, but there's an underneath section of this as well. It's huge. But you do see is that even though this thing's massive and it looks like actually like fairly high degree of architecture and skill, it is being encroached upon by the jungle pretty heavily. And you see these what look like people-sized bugs, but standing upright. There's a few, like some of them have like more skin on their face than others. Some look almost entirely insectoid, but standing upright and doing things. Others looks like they have like actual fingers. There's just all these different states of mutation, it almost looks like that's going on. And also varying species. You see grasshopper, you see like a fly, you see a moth type with big wings going through. Just seems to be all these different types going on. But there, some up there kind of chopping down vines and kind of trying to keep the forest back. And as you kind of even see, you see like one person get to one section and they leave, and the section that they, as they're working on another section, the section they had just cut grows back a few inches and they have to go back to it. And this seems to be all very, very busy, very with it work.
Oh, wow.
I'm actually at that point, I'm going to look over at Mal and I'm like, when I used to read fairy tales, I fancied that thing never happened. Now here I am in the middle of one. What is this? I don't understand.
Bug City.
And we must find the queen. What is it? Kalawa? What was her name?
It's not koala. I forget.
Lola?
I believe that was.
Yeah, and at this point, there's these two like grasshopper guards that are right actually guarding these big coconut door gates, as they say, "Welcome to Kuloa," and they open up the gates, and so you get Kuloa is the city's name. And as you take a look around, you do see that there are three cities kind of made into three concentric circles of this terracotta formation as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's at least there's thousands of these humanoids go around. They're going about their daily life. You see like what looks like dwellings and crafting halls as people are sewing and hammering. Different shops, anything you'd expect from a big city like Nicodranus, or even within the inner merchant area of the Dark Toe. I would say even the busiest, maybe even rivals Dark Toe at the point of this. This is almost like a metropolis type of deal. But one of the guards simply says, "You may be around. I must inform the queen of your arrival."
Yes, please.
Goes off.
Sure.
And also you get the sense that they just, not anyone could have found this tunnel, and they're pretty aware of that. So, but yeah, he goes out and kind of leaves you just to kind of explore the city.
I am very interested to see what people eat around here. So I'm gonna try to see what smells good. If I can find anything that smells good, or you said there's a lot of shops, so.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff here.
And what do they worship? I'm interested in that as well.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Let me. So there is a as you're looking around, you're actually approached but as this kind of this large woman kind of buzzes near you, and she goes, "I am Noah. I am a merchant of this place. How can I help you? You are so. I will trade anything with you." She seems very like pulling on your flesh, going so sticky. I love it.
And I like knock on her exoskeleton. I'm like, so hard. And I see what type of wares do you have?
Oh, what are you looking for, dear? Did you say you were thirsty for something?
A little thirsty, maybe a little hungry.
Ah,
Do you have anything maybe that is hot drinks? I love hot drinks.
so she probably should go. Don't. I don't have anything hot. I do have. Well, depending on what hot you are talking about, I do have this honeysuckle wine that can make things quite interesting.
Oh, that does sound very nice. Very exotic. How much is that?
She goes, what do you have of the outside world? Maybe you could trade me?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have too much, to be honest. And I show her a candle I have. I say, if you like nice smells.
Yeah, she leaps at this camp. She's like, oh yeah, she just takes it. She's really excited for the candle and hands you, actually gives you this long honeysuckle blossom that is holding this nectar with you.
Very interesting. I wonder what type of armors they have here. I bet you they have tons of crazy things. What else do you guys do? I mean, do you guys have so much protection? Do you guys have any intruders?
She pauses and kind of gets this grave look on her face. She goes, things have been bad lately, but I mean, we have all types of equipment here. You have the armor makers, and as she points, and you see some people wearing this coconut armor. Other people are carrying these swords that seem to be made out of like large beetle mandibles. And I would say what you don't see a lot of, you don't see like people are hammering, but you don't see a lot of smithing. Everything seems to be more like made out of the natural environment, and maybe certain aspects of that enhanced in some way, but not really metal anywhere. So there's many wares that we would have. It just depends on what you are looking for, my dear. Ask any woman around here, and I'm sure you might be able to find something quite wonderful. But beware the forest, and well, I'm sure the queen will tell you soon enough about the jungle.
Oh well, we're definitely-
While the guard is going to get the queen,
Yeah.
I'm going to, as out of the way as I can, fits with some of my goggles again, and ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah, I would say the same effect that seems to be rolling through the entire jungle, that same like bright aura, is affecting the whole two as well. You see it the same type of stuff, and I would say that as you're looking around, there's you don't see a lot of stuff that has so much as far as magic, except for you do see that there is a magical aura coming from the wine that was just handed to Thola there. So you do see that, and that is going to be it would be evocation.
I come over quickly. Thola. I am sure that will be delicious, but please don't drink it until I've had a chance to look at it, please. You're muted.
No problem. I didn't plan to have it right now. But
I look up and I just sort of tap my glasses and I go, it looks funny.
funny like my rapier, a little bit.
Not as much, but yes.
Understood.
Do you? We're still next to the merchant.
If you want to be sure, you can move around here. Yeah.
Can I? So would you? Can I also? Do you have a second one of those? The wines, please.
Maybe what you have that is different from your friend.
Well, do you have any use for these? And I kind of reach in and I just have a giant bag of many ball bearings, and I just kind of grab a handful as they're like spilling out like onto the floor, and I just say, "Hey, you like these?"
She's like, "Oh my, oh, so many balls! I love it! It just is pushing them all in her around in her pockets."
Awesome.
And grabs another big thing of this honeysuckle wine and gives it to you.
Awesome. Is there like an opening or something?
It's like an open blossom.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I look straight at Jajal and I go, same for you.
No, you see, you have to live a little bit. Just down the hatch, and what's the worst that could happen? And I down it, or at least I try to. I chug it. I don't know if I can finish the whole thing. I don't know how big it is.
Yeah, no, you're able to take it, and it is extremely warm and sweet. It's delicious. And are you injured at all?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you can go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2 for healing.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Where are you? Here. And then. So that's 2 plus 4, 6. Cool. So that brings me up to full.
Yeah. That
Awesome.
Yeah, and I would say you also see like it seems like it almost like and like it's doing this healing, and you see your wounds close up and this glow, and it's like energized. It's like also like maybe you had like 6 cups of coffee, like you were just ready to go.
Oh man, everyone, that was amazing. Oh man, I might come back for more of this later.
You look a lot better.
That was divine. No offense, Dola. I didn't mean it like that.
None taken.
Yeah,
dear, none
awesome. There we go.
And today was the first day that the fact that cure wounds is evocation is anything I cared about.
I love that too. You're like, is it really evoking? It is.
Would you just have assumed like abjuration, you're done? Like, what else could it be? It's not necro, right? Sure.
I mean, necromancy is just really late healing.
Necromancy is healing in the reverse order.
Yeah. Well, spare the dying's necromancy. So there, it's a funny line.
Revivify is necromancy,
Yeah.
and you don't end up with zombie. You still end up with a living person.
Yeah, necromancy isn't necessarily undead. It's just taking what's dead and making it not. At any rate, what else is everyone doing?
So I'm just glancing around out of curiosity to see what kinds of weapons they carry. Are we talking about like fairly rudimentary weapons or like sophisticated stuff? Like, do we have any like bows, crossbows, or is it all just stabby things?
As you look around, there are, I mean, like there are swords, there's daggers, there are bows. I would say there's not. You have take some time. You don't really find crossbow bows. You do find arrows. It seems like maybe that's a little bit past where they are in what they do. Because like it's very tribal. Like it's what you could really make naturally. So
Okay.
bow,
So
like simple bow, simple arrow. That's very natural. Like crossbow is like a little bit beyond them somewhat.
and then is there any coating on their blades? Do they have anything like sticky or off colored on their weapons typically?
It's really hard. Everything that they're making, like it's so organic that some of it is sticky, some of it like it looks like they're using stuff like spider silk, like other things.
Well, there's like
Like
no,
you even
no,
see
like,
someone walking
obvious,
around with
like no obvious like dripping ichor or nastiness coming off their weapons, right?
not too much. I would say that the most you see is you see a little bit of like kind of like nasty stuff around some arrows that you realize are just bee stingers that have been carved.
Cool.
So that those seem to have some type of poison in them. But again, without like a really close look, it's kind of hard to tell unless you're going to really like start to grab stuff. But it's up to you. There's just kind of cursory, like as you're looking around, seeing everything. But you know, as it's hard for you guys to go very many places without someone kind of walking up to you. And in fact, this one person comes and they're kind of, it's kind of interesting. They're actually, you hear this music and you realize that they're strumming these strings that are strung between kind of these curved protrusions of their body, and they're kind of like ding, 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 like playing some stuff and singing, and it's kind of vibrating through the carapace and legs to make the sound itself. And she goes, travelers from beyond the tunnel, I'm so glad to see you. Please teach me a song from your homeland. And holds up this tiny chip of crystal, almost offering it to you as payment.
Can anyone sing?
It's funny because Stola does have a lyre from being an outlander and being by herself sometimes. She can try.
Yeah, do it.
At that point, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hopefully do this, and I'm gonna actually like bless myself and pray. So I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
Oh goodness.
And for performance, and then I will sing you a song of my people, and I'll play you a song, and I'll do some tropical type, yeah, and then see how that goes.
Okay, make performance check.
Oh, it's a 19. Oh, yes. And I don't have no additions. I'll add the D4 just because it's a +2.
Nice. So yeah, so you learn, and she begins to play this harmony with it, and the two of you start to really jam out. And she gets really excited, and she just loves this, and she goes, "Hail to the visitors!" and starts kind of playing, kind of eventually gets to your song and begins playing it, walking away, and tosses you the crystal piece. Which you're gonna write, yeah. Well, yeah, you just put a piece of Kuloa crystal.
How does this look?
Which you don't get a sense it's magical at all now. As I would say, Tonk, there's no ore coming out of it.
All right.
I want to run up and give Zola a high five. Nice job.
And yeah, it's actually it's more like down because you're a little bit shoulder, so I'm like, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. So, has anyone seen the queen, or should we look for maybe to see where the source of the possible, maybe I think it was something that fell from the sky?
I think we'll learn more when we talk to the queen. We should wait. We should wait.
We shouldn't get too lost. I guess you're right. This is a big place.
Plus, if she comes down all the way from where she was, and then we're not here, then she could, get mad, and then the next time we show up, it's just.
I don't think I want to fight bug people. It doesn't seem pleasant.
I feel as though they would bring us to her. No, I couldn't. I've never.
Well, the guard said that he was going to tell the queen.
Yeah. As you all are talking, I'd say the guard comes back with a contingent of some other guards, and they go, "Yes, if you have enjoyed the fruit of our city, please follow us. Or is there anything else that you want to do before we take you to see her?"
No, we'll follow.
All right. So, they begin to bring you that way. You're brought to meet who they say is the queen. And as you're looking, you see that you are led toward the center ring of the city. And as you get to where there's a platform that ends up being on top of a tower, and you kind of get to where you would cross over to this, when you see there's bridges that go different places, but they don't lead you to a bridge. They just lead you to empty space there. And you can see the guards kind of like bang their spears, and passing O2, all kind of start clamoring and swarming around you. And one kind of grasps onto the edge, the stone edge of this, and then another grasps onto them, and they make this bridge out of their bodies, and they kind of interlock their bodies, and the guards kind of proceed over and say, follow.
Okay.
Are they going to be okay?
No, we're now in the realm of fire ants.
Okay?
It's fine.
You walk past, and oddly enough, like there's a little bit, but not much. It's fairly sturdy. They're able to make, like, kind of linking their carapaces together is quite sturdy. And as you're stepping on them, someone going, "Hi, it's great to meet you. So good." You kind of like go down, like, "Oh yes. Oh, you had a good lunch. I'm so glad you enjoyed the wine." And they kind of are very, very friendly people. Letting you do this. This is kind of a normal thing, it seems, as you make your way across. you see that on top, you get to the top of this tower as you made your way across this bridge of O2, and there's this huge canopy of coconut husk that shades a court of that's filled with spider silk cushions. You even see that there's this gleaming dais where that sits this insectoid female with big, large butterfly wings. That looks like it was. It's kind of interesting. It looks like it was made from one large gold coin around. And she sits there and shaded by an awning that's kind of made from a clam shell. And there's servants going around and they're fanning her. And their fans are made from butterfly wings. And you see the floor around this dais is engraved to actually resemble the petals of a flower. And so as you're kind of looking between yourself and the queen, there's just this flurry of color and motion as there's just butterflies that are around the court that are rather big. They're kind of like the size of hawks at this point, as they're kind of trained to be their light pets. And near the queen, there's 302 seated, made from tiny chairs with tiny seashells that seem to have have had different pieces of shell kind of worked into them on the outside. So it's like a shell base and then almost like cemented onto it as a pattern of other shells in this mosaic, multicolored thing on each of them. And they are dressed in their coconut shell armor. And by them is this humongous beetle that has like a riding harness on it. As you see one of them kind of petting it very gently.
Does it look like the beetle can fly?
From here, it's hard to tell. You don't see wings on the outside.
No wings, right? So you got the carapace and then usually wings underneath. There's no obvious never mind.
Okay.
Does the carapace looks like it splits at the sides and down the middle of the back?
I would say make a perception check from here.
14.
18-ish.
From this, I would say it looks fairly solid.
Okay.
We do need something to ride on, though. That would be nice. You see that?
But yeah, so as you arrive, they say, Queen Ilani, here are the visitors. And she steps up and you see that she's got robes of shimmering spider silk. There's jewelry that seems to be made from like wasp carapaces around her. So it's yellow and black things that shine like onyx and gold. And she is larger. She's taller than all the other O2 around her. And you can see even her, she's also somewhat rotund around as well. And she kind of sits and says, visitors, have you heard our cry for help?
So at this moment, I'd like to go into a very deep bow, left foot forward, right foot back, left arm out, and go down and come up and say, Your Majesty, I am in awe of the splendor of your city, your hospitality, and your immense beauty. Thank you for having us. And yes, we did. And my name is Giselle Finn, at your service. And these are my associates here. Please introduce yourselves.
Solo, just, to give a little head nod. And my name is Stola, Saya said. You do have very nice people, so you must treat them very well.
I hope so.
Tonk will bow, pull the goggles off so as not to be, eyesight. Bow. Tonk Sprocket. Your city is a wonder of crafting.
Thank you. Our people are quite industrious when they put their mind to it.
Then Mal will do a full bow, but from the two blades, pulling them, do the bow with the swords behind him and put them right back where they were.
Oh, nice.
Mal.
Goes, goes, well, we welcome you, those who would aid us, and we extend the hospitality of our city. And there's this little almost cheer arises as these flower kind of wreaths are placed around your necks, and you're given it's kind of like rock glasses with nice cold water in them, or put around.
I'll drink the water for sure.
Yeah, and then they also give you pieces of candy. This is like this crystallized honey and flower and nectar.
I like sweets.
He says, we were told by some of them in a little coconut boat that something fell from the sky, and you've been having problems with. It points over towards the large jungle.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they didn't have a lot of information. They said they were at sea, and so didn't see all of it.
Yes. Well, there's a. It has changed us as well, and some of us our minds are opened more than those I think you met. But they're loyal to they're so loyal. But yes, there was an object that reported some time ago that came here, but we made no mind. But then we noticed many of the plants, the native plants here, began to die. Everything that is from this island. Even these offerings are meager. The natural resources have been dwindling off, and what you see is a type of plant life that we have never seen before. It's aggressive, and we've sent, as we noticed, what we would normally eat and make our clothes from, especially our precious coconut, was diminishing. We sent in scouts to the center of the island to see what they could find, and none have returned. Sent at least 10 parties in.
10 parties. Okay.
That is terrible. What other effects have you noticed yourself since the touchdown? Have you changed or gained any other powers besides, mental significance? And
Recently, it seems we could tell there's some type of fungus that maybe was able to control the plants. But recently, it seems that some of it can control us as well. We have found a few that have had these growths, but they're not of their own mind anymore.
When Jajal killed one of the plant beasts, there was a core to it that was sturdier, was a central bit. Once the animal was dead, it dissolved and fell into the ground. Have you seen this before?
Yes, those the weaker things especially will go like that. That which has less power, more on the outskirts. We think that's part of the fungus that it is becoming part of the island itself. You know that she's there's like sadness. Her face is weird and alien, but you can see there's this almost hopelessness and sadness in her.
Your Majesty, has any of the fungus that it's controlled the life here, has it tried to make any contact with you?
No, not at all. Just you kind of see that she's contemplating something as she's kind of like deciding whether or not to talk. The wall on your right side bursts open with vines.
Oh boy.
As it just comes in. And it comes through the residential ring, it topples a tower, and it leaves a city block flattened. And it kind of makes its way and forms its bridge right into the center of this. So this vine all at once spans a good 1,000 to 2,000 feet.
Oh wow.
Instantly. And there's these screaming sounds that almost like cicadas that kind of just comes on. And as this vine comes on, another one puts in 2 Utu that have obvious growth of, and what looks like that black and green material all over their faces. And then standing in the center of these 2 is, with the feet, hands, you can see part of the neck, pure flesh, human, pale flesh. And then as it starts to get up near the cheekbones, there's just thick fungus. And it covers the eyes, and it kind of bulbs up over where there would be hair, and fungal eye stalks rest above, and they kind of are going different directions. And this creature steps forward and simply says, I am the voice of the mother. We demand Alani be surrendered to us, and you give us access to the outside.
So as soon as, like, obviously there's the reaction to everything breaking, but as soon as I see that there's people, like, I don't even know how many there are yet, but in that moment, I would immediately move between whatever this is and the queen and drop shield, gun over the top.
Okay, I'll give you a position. Yeah, I'll say for this, describe your positions as. I'll say everyone, you guys have been attacked at sea. I would say there's reflexes that you definitely have to things like this.
Yeah, probably 10 feet in front of the queen.
Okay.
And just brace behind shield, and then pistol over the, like, resting on the top of the shield.
Yeah, I'll tell you what for this, why don't we get everyone rolling some initiative, save the number, and I'll set some stuff up here as we position this out.
Oh, thankfully that is better than lately.
Please not last. Please not last. Please not last.
It'll probably be me.
All right.
I'm not doing great.
So, see down here, dais, we have, here we go. Do not want to break her wings. Here's our queen. And then I would say these guys came from the side here. So that is the one that identified itself as the voice of the mother. And then this is an alt 2. As well as this gentle in here. Flanking. Then here we're going to have a queen's attendant as well. Here's the wrong box. Here's the right box.
You can't do 2 camera shots at the same time, can you?
I cannot, but I can switch as you'd like.
I just, yeah, it would be helpful to visualize if we had like the top-down view and then maybe 3/4 right, but it's doable. It's all good.
Yeah, so I'd say Tonk, I have you there for now. You can kind of tell me if you'd like to be different.
I probably would have been a little bit closer to the queen.
Okay.
So like where there's that little block, I would have been right at the base of that block, or
here, or you're saying here?
down below that.
Okay,
Right there. Yeah, right there.
Okay, excellent. All right. And then Mal, where would you imagine you'd get yourself to?
I was trying to keep some distance regardless, so you place me where you feel like it's appropriate, but like I was kind of regarding this whole thing being a little bit skeptical, so whatever makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna put you back here then, because this is where you guys were kind of waiting and talking. So you were kind of towards the back there. I'll kind of default put the rest of you here. Tell me if any of you would have moved instinctively from that.
Yeah, I probably would have maybe moved a little bit forward, but that's it. Just all right.
All right. Perfect. So let me, all right, give, yeah, so it's this other angle a little bit, and I can show you too, a little bit there. It's probably a little better there for you.
Cool.
All right. Which would you guys like me to default on for now? Do you want this or the overhead?
The overhead as default, really. It helps me get a feel for where everyone is better.
I'll go with that. And if on your turn you want something different, you just let me know. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do that. Actually, let me, because you guys get this little side screen as well, right? Like the side where you see all of our profiles.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me quickly see if I can change that actually. Okay. So if we go more, you want, yeah. So we go this. Let me share the screen. It gives you a little bit better. Kind of gives you best of both worlds a little bit. How's
Cool.
that?
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay, so, all right. Let me get the initiative real quick. What's this? Yep. All right, so let's do it like this. All right, so. All right, so Mal.
7.
7. And Thola.
17.
All right. And Tonk.
18.
18. And Jajal.
8.
Okay. Perfect. Let me quickly. Over there. Okay, so Tonk, you're up first.
All right. So I am going to use my action to spend a spell slot to summon my Eldritch Cannon again,
Okay.
because I haven't had a long rest, so it takes a spell slot the second time. I'm going to have it move so that it's there in a line with all three of them.
Gotcha.
I'm going to look right at the one that talked and say, you may be the voice of the mother, but I'm the fire of retribution. Bonus action flamethrower.
Gotcha. Let's get anything somewhat tiny here. Here. No, that let's put this here for now. So okay, so you. All right, so you wanted to move it to get the 3 like right in front of you like this.
I didn't figure a cone would get them there. I figured it would have to move like right in line so that it would just be like
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Perfect. Yeah.
Well, my side of all of that, but
You
yes.
got it. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Roll your damage. I'll make their saves.
9.
Okay. And it's 14 to beat, right?
Yep.
Yep. None of them beat that. So they will all take full damage from that. Okay, so that was 9. So, yep. All right. Yeah, you can see it damages them. Definitely, but you can see just from the way that hits them, they're definitely sturdier than the creatures that you faced previously.
Sure.
But with that, but yeah, and again, there's like these aren't necessarily plant-made creatures, so they kind of take it a little bit better. And the voice of the mother kind of just sneers and gives you this weird smile. And with that, that's going to be Thola.
Thola, at that point, is going to touch her necklace and say a prayer, and she's going to raise her hand and cast a spiritual weapon right next to the voice of the mother. And what actually she summons is a scythe.
Okay.
And so she's going to actually just do like a swiping motion and have the scythe attack the mother.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cocked. Let's see here.
Yeah. We'll just put a mind flare there for now.
Fair enough. I doubt it. A 10 hit.
It does not hit. No.
I figured.
Yeah, it's kind of where you kind of go for the top, like trying to cut the eye stalks off, and they just kind of fall down flat.
And at that point, I'll move actually, kind of like in front of Tonk there a little bit.
Sure.
And I will try to attack it with my rapier.
Yeah, move right in front there. Yeah, as you move up, you see 3 of the eye stalks kind of just turn and bend it like a 90-degree angle at you.
And
make your hit.
That is going to be a 21.
That hits.
Yeah. And 2 here. It'll be 7 damage.
Okay. Perfect. You got it. So, with that, it is their turn. Yeah. Quickly, kind of. The voice of the mother. Actually, no, he doesn't go first. That's right. He does give the command. Bring me the queen. But you do see that the queen is being ushered away by her attendant, trying to get some distance. So say they go first, and they're able to get her just about here. And both of these are going to go 30.
Does she get? Do I get an opportunity attack? Because
you will, yes.
Okay.
They're actually going to try to cut off their pass over here. You were not getting this one. Yeah, it's going to circle and try to avoid you, Tonk. But actually, Tonk and Thola, you will get opportunity attacks on both, on one of them.
That's a 20.
Yeah, that hits.
And I will roll 2. Yeah. All right, that's going to be 12.
Okay, nice. Very nice. Yeah, you just slice one deeply as it comes back at you. And Tom, you taken anything there?
So my mind is a little foggy on this for some reason. Am I allowed to take a ranged attack as an add-op? I don't think so, right? It's only melee.
No, it's melee.
Yeah. I mean, I have a dagger, but I don't have it drawn, so I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right. And then at this point, though, the voice of mother does kind of give you a kind of weird head tilt smile, and it breathes out, Thola, and these spores just fill the air around you.
Gross.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
She needs to brush her teeth. That's going to be 13.
13. That is just going to make it, as it seems to not have an effect. As you kind of quickly hold your breath, kind of seeing something's up, and you feel it's, and you kind of even close your eyes as you see these spores. They're swirling around you, almost seeking to get inside you somehow. And as you just kind of tighten up and pull everything, you're able just to like hold on while they dissipate. And with that, it is going to be Jajal.
All right. Well, I do love a good chase, and so I'll watch as those two kind of chase after the queen, and I'll draw my blade, chase after them, and try to skewer one on my way over. As long as I can clear that distance.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be a bit. So, are you going to bonus action dash there?
I can, if it's outside of my 30 feet, when I'll use the feline agility, so that way
Okay.
on my turn in combat I can double the speed until the end of my turn.
Gotcha. So yeah, that gets you there.
Because
That's
that
how
would
you
be
can-
60 feet, I think.
Yeah, you'll be able to move up to that one if you want.
Okay. And would I be within range to melee attack?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. And that is a 9 plus 6, 15 to hit.
I think that hits. Go back. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. 3, and then do I add my sneak attack bonus?
Yeah, you definitely do, because there's not one that's directly involved with that.
Okay, so the initial was 7 damage, and then the bonus now is 6, so 13.
That was the one. Yeah, so 13 damage total.
Mhm.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, you skewer that. It's brought very low. You can see it looks really rough as it's screaming.
Cool. And I think that's going to be it for me.
Got it. And then that's going to be Mao.
So at 30 feet, I probably can't close the distance. I can probably get halfway there, right?
For 30, yeah, you'd probably. Are you going towards the Queen's attackers or some other?
Who else is on the battlefield and how far away?
You probably just get to the voice of the mother, which is the fungal looking thing. But you get about halfway to the ones that seem to be attacking the queen directly.
All right, pull the crossbow and take a pot shot at the one that Jajal just hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
That is a 17 to hit.
So that hits.
And your damage is a 8.
8. So with that, it flies through the air, smacks this thing in its head as it slowly crumples and dies.
Cool.
Going through. And you do see the queen kind of shriek as it looks like there's like some spores that are rising up from its corpse.
Ooh.
And with that, it's going to be Tonk.
All right. Let's start with just firebolting the voice of the mother.
Okay. Take your gun.
25 to hit,
Yeah. That it does.
8 damage.
Absolutely. Yep. So it's going to be 10. Yeah, it starts catching fire. It does start to smolder and make this bad smell as it's kind of igniting some of the spores that are on it. Clearing
And
out
then I'm
the
going to
air.
use my bonus action to have the Eldritch Cannon throw that 15-foot cone so that it hits the voice of the mother, but not Thola.
Yeah, you can do that. Definitely.
12 fire. Half of it saves.
Yeah. Nope, that's not going to make it. So it takes 12 fire damage. Yeah, I'd say with that, it's burning and it's interesting. It's like fires are happening and it's coming undone. And it looks directly at you, Tonk. And even though like it's clearly burning away and turning into ash, it has this just sick smile on its face as it then explodes in this massive circle of spores.
Oh.
Oh boy.
And I would say, Tonk, you're just out of range with it, but Thol, I need
Sorry,
another saving
Thola.
throw.
It's okay. I can't say.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, that's not going to make it. That's a 5.
5. All right, so you can mark down that you have 1 level of spore exposure as you start to feel sweaty and hot, and just generally like nauseated. And in your ear, you just hear this native voice like, "I'll see you soon." And with
Still like,
that, Thola, I believe it, unless Tonk, you have something else, it's Thola's turn.
No, that's it. I mean, Tonk loves fire, but there's only so much fire per turn.
Yeah.
can't do that. See if I can make a note here. Yeah, Thola grimaces and grabs her head and she's like, "Aye, what was that?" And she moves away and tries to get away from the spores. And did anyone else hear that?
Hear what?
I'll say
Huh.
too, Thola, one thing you notice is you're so close. What you thought were eyes on the stalks actually were like, it's weird, almost like cauliflower heads with a dark coloration in the center, as though it was like this plant trying to mimic what an eye looks like.
Right. That's so weird. Okay. Yeah, I will explain how that creature is weird and we should avoid being in their presence. Wait, is there still the ones over there?
There's
I
one, yeah.
I guess I will then at that point move my spiritual weapon over there.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can move the spiritual weapon 20 feet for your bonus action.
I mean, I will move closer to, and then, well, yeah, because it's not like it's gonna move my spiritual weapon.
Yeah,
Obviously.
no. So it'll be about there.
There, okay, and then I will. Well, she's dead, so I can move as well.
Yeah.
I will also move a little bit closer that way.
So we'll see. It's kind of up on the dais right there.
And I'll end my turn. Actually, we're pretty close there. How close are you? How close would you say Jajal is?
Jal is probably about 30 feet away.
30 feet. Okay. Oh well, there's only one, so I'll cast. Not that it's super helpful, but I'll cast guidance on him.
Perfect.
But actually, I need to touch him, so I can't do that. I'll just end my turn.
Yeah. As you end your turn, this one directly approaches the queen and exhales spores all around her. And you see she immediately falls unconscious.
Ooh.
And she goes ahead and picks her up. And will then move this way. Actually, it's going to be half movement towards where the vine is, essentially over here.
Uh-oh.
And then with that is going to be Jajal's turn.
Spiritual weapon 2.
Not good.
This one has not been injured as of yet. Well, it has by the fire, but other than
Okay.
the fire.
At this point, I feel like I should stop that. And what I'd like to do is run up to it and see if I can grapple it. Stop it from moving. Kind of move in front of it, and then like grapple it as it's going. Because I'm gonna be able to since it's slowed down from carrying the queen, I'm gonna try to see if I can run past and then double back and grab it.
Sure. I'll say 5, 10.
Look at you, you fast
Yeah,
cat.
I would say you can just get there to kind of cut it off a little bit here, not to get on top of the queen. That's a little better. Yeah, so go ahead and so that's basically a strength check to grapple, right?
I think so. So then
Yep.
I click on the strength option up here on the.
So it's just contested strength.
Natural 20. -2, so 18.
It got lower, so you grapple. Yeah, grapple it. I can break the grapple next turn if you want. Is there anything you want to do?
Can I bonus action dash back towards everyone else?
Sure. Where do you want to go?
Completely
Never-
opposite of the vines, I think.
Okay, so it's hard just because I don't know. Towards everyone else is probably you can go away from the vines. So I'd say so that's gonna be half your movements. You would probably be able to get about there. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I just want to get it as far away from the vines. As I'm doing that, I want to be struggling and say, "Come on, let's get him! Stop him!"
Fair enough. All right, Mal, it's your turn.
I'm guessing there's no available clear shots to the crossbow.
From where no, you can move and get a
Yeah,
clear
it's kind of my only
shot.
option at this point. Is how much do I have to move to shoot?
I would say you need to get clear shot. Yeah, you can get right about here.
Can I do that without a move and still shoot?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Crossbow is 8 to hit.
Yeah, just between trying to miss everybody, it just does not work out.
Okay.
Tonk.
I am assuming that my short little feet and my 25-foot movement speed isn't going to get me around this well enough to take a shot.
No, not quite. So you're trying to get in clear so you can get a shot going. You could probably go up 5, 10, 15, 20. If you come up, you can kind of come up here and get a shot going downward.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do that then. $26 to hit.
Yeah. Eight
fire damage.
Excellent. All right, as it singes some of its wings.
So obviously my flamethrower turret isn't going to do any good with him literally grappled to people. So I go, all right, Gidget, and I open one of the pouches on my chest, and Gidget, the mechanical scarab, flies up into the air over my shoulder and uses Force Strike.
Excellent.
With a 17.
That will hit.
For 7 force damage.
Perfect. All right.
Does the attendant, like the queen's attendant, like do anything?
She once the other ones got within her, she just kind of froze in absolute horror, especially after the queen was breathed on.
Okay.
There's just this look of almost like she's already mourning the queen. I would say you get. But with that, then it will be Thola's turn.
I'm going to try to move closer to where they're grappled.
Mhm.
If I can.
Move 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, I'll say because it's kind of weird here. You can go ahead and get down in there.
All right. Is there any way I can just remove the queen from, I guess, the monster? And so
Yeah, I would say you just make it. You have to make an opposed strength check.
yeah, I figured I will do that. Geez. Okay, that's a 4. Let's hope it's a strong 4.
Oof. It got a 4, and I would say that would be your DC. So I give you success on that. So yes, you're able to just. I mean, it's a big struggle, and it's almost like the someone letting go of the tug of war rope as you guys stumble back. I would say since it met, just give me a quick dex save to not fall prone with the queen.
Sure. That's going to be a 8.
An 8. Yeah. So I say you grab the queen. It is out of the grasp, but you also kind of topple back a few feet.
No problem.
Like a foot or two. And so I'd say both of you end up prone there.
No problem. And can I move my spiritual weapon like in between, I guess, the vines and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'd say maybe you're trying to block the path a little bit. Absolutely. All right. So then it is its turn. Her turn. I'm gonna do here. She did that. So she's going to just try to, I think at this point, attack you, Thola, as your. Well, it's actually, no, it's grappled here. I'm sorry.
It's Jajal's got it grappled.
Yeah. So she's grappled there. She's going to attack a Jajal. And that will be so she just kind of she just bites.
Rude.
And that's going to be a 21.
Yeah, that hits.
For 4 piercing.
Ow!
It's kind of just bites on the side of your face and tries to just kind of pull it off.
Who does that?
Who bites?
Just like, bam.
Yeah, and then that's going to be your turn, Jajal.
Well, everybody's pretty close by now, so I think would I be able to like just kind of like break free and then try to run it through?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just kind of break it in, take out your kind of push it back. The teeth kind of tear out a little bit of pieces of your skin off of your face as you
the face
your rapier.
Rude. It's gonna die now. That's 12 plus 6, 18.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
All right. And that is 4 plus 4, 8 damage. And then
Nice.
The others is 5. So
Perfect.
13.
Yeah, you run it straight through its abdomen. It even pierces the back carapace. It's just nasty. And then Mal, that is your turn.
So who's left standing? This thing's still alive, right?
Yeah, it's just one of these kind of infected Oatu are alive.
So I've got a clean-ish shot.
Yeah.
All right, let's take it.
Yeah, you're not trying to shoot around that camera or anything.
Cool. So soft 21.
Yeah, definitely. Do your damage.
Damage comes in nice at a 10.
Oh,
Nice.
that's very good. Yeah, so this way it sticks through its throat, but you can kind of see like Joe, you see this as it comes to the throat, you almost see like it has a few breathing tubes, so it's made it harder for it to breathe, but it's still kind of going through. And you also see that it seems like the spores that are on it or this fungal stuff maybe is serving, letting it do things through its skin as well. Through these spores. Like it's this really nasty, almost animated dead is the feel you're starting to get from this thing.
Okay.
So I'm getting a little irritated at this point. So it's still alive. So I'm going to go ahead and action surge and hit it one more time.
Yeah.
That is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
That's 4 more damage.
You needed 4. How are you doing this?
Straight to the middle of the head, post it, and it drops.
Nice. Yeah, so you kind of aim, and you're just in an irritated fashion, just tink, and it drops down. All right, he's gone. So with that, you guys look around, it seems like there are no more threats, and the vines begin to recede back to the jungle.
Crazy. Should have did this in the castle. I'm gonna try to see if I can, wake up or actually will cast Cure Wounds. Let's see if it's like is the queen bleeding? Like is she like hurt?
No.
Okay. So it's just unconscious.
Make a quick medicine check.
Okay. 20 plus 2. So 22.
Yeah, I'm going to say that you quickly look and there is this like rapid fungal growth that's beginning to move around her. That's attempting to get in. And it is keeping her unconscious and somehow like undoing her own nerve control.
Oh. Shoot, I don't have any.
You can try whatever
Um,
you want.
I'm still a couple levels from lesser restoration. I don't know if I can fix this.
Yeah.
I mean, roll a medicine check to, like mucous membranes, like do something.
Yeah,
Can I give a help action?
sure.
All right. In which case, 12 is still the better answer.
Okay. I'll say between those two, I would say right now, this hardly 6 seconds have passed at this point. It's hardly been a minute. I would say from this, you get that possibly different types of healing magic might work given this quick exposure to it.
All right.
So just to be clear, like Jalal went nuts on the weird drink that we got, but Thola did not, correct?
Correct.
I mean,
So
yeah,
I'm gonna point to
Thola didn't drink it.
no.
Exactly my point. So I'm gonna point to the little weird water skin thing that Thola has and be like, that maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put it in her mouth and hold her up and serve it to her. And
All right. Roll 2d4 and add 2.
let's see, hopefully I got some good 2Ds here. There you go. Let's go. Oh, that's gonna be a 4 and a 1. So
Nice.
yeah, that will be 7.
Yeah. With 7, it seems like you did just enough. So I'll just tell you the number you had to hit here was 6. Given the time that was there before it would, and eventually it's done through exposure. But yeah, you're able to reverse what has happened. The spores kind of clear away, and she kind of begins to cough and kind of come to consciousness.
I'll tap her. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So it's kind of like spitting. They've never done that before.
Does look like they're getting more aggressive, and the solution needs to be immediate.
What have they done so far? How close have they gotten? How much have they pushed the limits?
I had never seen Gaius like that. Before you, there was another visitor who tried to help us. Whatever that was his body. He had never come back.
You're muted.
Until now.
Yes.
Yes, he had never come back until now. Thank you.
Yes.
But so at that point,
but I've never heard of the Thorn Shade Mother, or whoever he's talking about.
we must find. Do you know where this gentleman was heading when you sent him off?
To the center of the island, to find whatever had fallen, just like we're asking you.
Same. All right. I think we might need to. Are you guys comfortable heading out right away?
I think I am. Thola, are you okay? It seems like you were coughing a little bit back there.
I will be okay. I have a little bit of a headache, but nothing I think will weigh me down.
I mean, I'd feel better if we had some more, a little bit longer of a rest. I need to, reset some of my gadgets. Can we afford a longer rest? Is there time for that, or do we think this needs to be done now?
She speaks. She goes, time I don't know. I know. What I can tell you is the plant. Everything here only gets stronger. So whatever that was would be stronger. However, from where we think it is days journey, many days journey.
Okay.
So a day, it's up to you.
Let's go ahead and take a nice rest where there are buildings and beds and food. Long enough for me to fix up some of my gadgets for Thola to pray. And let's start out again in the morning.
Just out of curiosity, my queen, are there supplementations you could provide us with? Maybe some healing stuff, or some food, or some weapons, or something like.
Any more of that wine?
You could borrow from your stores?
She goes, we can try to. She pauses. She goes, I'll offer you what we can. We have to keep our defenses as well. And she makes a note she kind of says, find more of the honeysuckle wine. And she also has brought out to you a suit of this coconut shell armor, and kind of presents it. And with a brief glance, you could tell that this counts as heavy armor for anyone who would possibly be able to wear that.
Not I. I don't think any of us wear heavy armor.
All right.
Not still dodge.
I will hold it and put it in my bag.
Yeah, you pick it up. It's extremely light. So you'd get that there's no strength requirements to have this, and that you would probably be more dexterous than normal given its unique design.
What?
Interesting.
Nice.
So heavy but not heavy?
Heavy armor with a dex bonus?
Yeah, I'll let you know there's no strength requirement. It's a 17 AC, and it grants a +1 bonus to dexterity saving throws.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
I'm curious now.
But it has to do with the fact that it's made of this like natural material that's very hard. They have a building their houses out of, but it's light. It's light. It's just this weird, if your coconut gets so big, it could be a lot of things.
Sadly, the amount of work it would take me to be able to wear heavy armor, not a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
All right, let me try it on. I'm curious now.
I will take it out of my bag and give it to Mal.
Yeah.
You said 19 and +1 to dex what?
It's 17 AC is if I
17? Okay.
if I misspoke, I don't know, but it is 17.
No, that's fine. I misheard you. 17 AC and +1 to
Dexterity saving throws.
dex saves. Got it. And no impact on stealth or anything else?
Correct.
Cool.
But
I'll
I'm
try it on
assuming
and
it
see how
still
look.
I'm assuming it still doesn't allow your dex bonus to apply to your AC.
Correct. You do not get your dex bonus to the 17. It's just flat 17. It's not that insane.
The second you're like,
it's good.
when you're like, oh, it's light and allows you to be dexterous, I'm like, hold on, is this
Yeah.
heavy armor that lets you put your dex on top of it? That's nuts.
Yeah, no, not crazy. Yeah.
Because there's no incentive that sure, the deck save is cool, but right now with scale and shield, I'll be all right.
Yeah, and then I'd say, so in this check, I'll let any one of you straight roll. Just make whoever wants to can make a persuasion check for how much help as far as other items that they will
Ooh.
give you.
I'm assuming there are other people better than me at persuasion.
I will let Jajal do this. I think he's probably has the. I'm proficient, but I still have, not the best karma.
Your Majesty, these offerings are exquisite. It is my utmost concern and goal to eliminate this threat as soon as possible. Is there anything else you think that you could give us as a tool to fight this adversary, or information gear, perhaps more food and drink? And that is going to be it was almost a 20, and it was a 2. So it's a 7. Sorry, guys. Oops.
She will give you one more honeysuckle wine.
Okay.
And everyone gasps at it, and you suddenly realize that you were kind of giving junk jewelry to Native Americans earlier. That like they found things very valuable because it was neat, but this is extremely valuable resource. But they do hand over one more to you. But I'll say besides the armor, then nothing else with the
Okay. I'm sorry. Would you be able? How many of those wines did we receive now?
Just the one, right?
Yeah. They gave you one more, so you received 3 total. You've used 2, and you just got 1. So you got 2, then you used 2, and then you got 1. So you have 1 total.
Okay.
All right. 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
Right.
2 plus 1 plus 2 plus.
That's what that was like. Awful.
Thank you. All right. Okay. Well, so I guess we get the feeling that taking the rest isn't going to like make it even more worse off. Like if it's a couple days journey out, like maybe one more day isn't gonna completely like make it impossible.
It just depends on what you guys want to risk. I mean, it's up to you. I would
Yeah,
say.
like-
I mean, time is time, but there's also your resources. It's not
If it's gonna get worse from here on, and it's already a multiple day trip, right? Like this isn't something that we need to do in 7 hours, and if we take an 8-hour rest, we're not gonna make it in time. I mean, time is time, and there are deadlines, but like when we're already talking a multi-day trip, I don't think taking a rest now is gonna, be the breaking point.
What time of day is it now? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, we can go, take our 8 hours and go first thing. I mean, I'm not too opposed.
Yeah, I would say it's early enough if you all want to do things in the city or investigating, you can. But it's getting about time. I mean, it's probably around 3 or 4 p.m.
Yeah, it's late enough in the day that setting out now isn't going to give us that much of progress before we have to camp anyway.
So you guys are going to stay for the night then?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, I would say for while you're here and on this island and this kind of gigantic thing, a good visual for everybody is imagine as though you were about 1 inch tall. Is probably about the size from you to everything else that would be normal sized.
Okay.
Is like a good guiding thumb as we're describing different things.
Like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I won't be too rude about it, but I'm assuming the Queen's hospitality and the mission we're going on and the fact that we saved her is enough that we're not going to have to pay for an inn tonight.
Yeah, no, they've got once you guys are ready, they immediately say like so basically right now they were giving you there's rooms in the center area that you can have. If you wanted to explore the city more, they wouldn't let you back in just because of the heightened security, but you would have rooms outside, so it's your choice.
I'm gonna stay in the middle there. And I'd like to roll with my jeweler's tools to take a gold coin and carve it as a replica of the diadem. Because you said that that whole diadem was like a giant gold coin that was shaped like a flower.
Yes.
I want to use my jeweler's tools and take a single gold coin and basically make a replica of the diadem gold coin size.
Very nice. Yeah, make a jeweler's kit roll there.
So 13, 15, 18.
18. Yeah, I'll say, I mean, taking the rest of the time before you go to bed to do that with jeweler's tools, that's a good 4 hours work, and yeah, you can get pretty good there, and it looks pretty much like it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd say so. Who is anyone else? So is anyone not staying into the palace there?
I was gonna ask if they, did worship anybody here, and it was gonna ask if they had anything like that. If not, where is somewhere that possibly that we should visit? We have seen some of their markets and things like that.
Yeah. The queen kind of like so as you guys have actually attended the queen, one thing you notice is while she's very big, she's also very gangly, and she's a hard time moving around. And she kind of just mentions that they worship me and my brood, and she kind of gestures down as you realize that her abdomen is filled with the eggs, and that she's queen in a very biological sense here.
No wonder they take such interest in you. Well, I will actually stay here because I think it would be the best to have many people guard the queen as possible.
And there's a food and drink here also.
Yes, yeah.
I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, and actually the other thing you've noticed at this point is just about everybody outside of the city is female, and as you got in, beside the one attendant to the queen is male.
Oh, very insect life-like.
So yeah, so you get a little bit into their culture. So there are a few. Well, I get this. You get the things that there are 3 individuals who would like an audience with you. You may take them together, or each one of you can have one. Depends how you want to work the time. Tonk's busy, but Tonk's just kind of doing this for the time. But there are some community members hearing about your mission that just wanted to have a chat.
Oh yeah, for sure. If,
Tonk just sort of glances up. Let me know if it's something important, and then keep going.
Yeah, as long as they don't mind me eating while we do this.
Yeah, okay. So one comes up and essentially says, heard you going out. It's been more difficult for us to collect our honey, and we would make it well worth your while if you could come back with either that and any coconut you find.
Dola is actually delighted at this manner because she loves foraging and stuff like that. So she instantly lights up and she's, oh, of course, anything. I would love to help you out and grab more ingredients.
So, thank you. The bees, they're quite big. We would much
Oh.
help that help.
And that means the combs are even bigger.
Yes. We can, yeah, we can give you another suit of armor, as we see your friend has one when you bring it back, or we can have other treasures if you so desire.
Oh, yes, yes, we will definitely do so. We'll keep it in mind. Do you know where it's most plentiful? I know that you guys were having trouble with the natural fauna.
Uh, we've not been out there. It's hard to tell. You might find some.
I'll keep my eye out and use my natural ability to find it.
Yeah. But they're willing to give you something now because they seem to trust you. So they kind of say they have two things besides the armor that they can get. They're offering to make you armor, but they also bring out a helmet.
And are they a smither or a fastener of some kind? I'm guessing.
Yeah, they kind of put stuff together. Because you see this is like made out. It's like an open-faced insect chitin, essentially.
Ooh.
And it has these lacquered shards of butterfly wings and a pair of long, wispy butterfly antennae that are at the front, and kind of has this out. And says, I have this helmet. And then kind of looks in and brings out a necklace that's strung on spider silk. That seems like a mother of pearl that's on there. I would say you think you could sell that for a couple hundred gold, possibly. But you do see on the helm, I'll say that the antenna kind of wiggle a little bit. So there's something kind of going on there.
Can I ritual cast detect magic?
Sure.
Try to.
Yeah. You take the time there. I would say with this, it's not enchanted, but I would say you get that just there's the magic that's on this island, and there's something going on, I would say, with this. And you can kind of see there's like, it's kind of weird. It's like, it's not quite magic, but the spell does kind of pick up like flows of energy kind of going up and down the antenna. But it's not magical per se, but more these creatures can grant something, but it's not an enchantment.
Interesting.
Do you need me to take a look?
No, it's okay. I'll put it on.
Okay. So this does not require a tunic because it's not magical, but as you put it on, suddenly like you kind of feel like as you hear things, you also see them. As you kind of sense the antenna going up and down, and you're bonded psychically with these antenna.
Cool.
So while you wear this, you have advantage on perception checks to detect creatures within 60 feet.
Cool.
So as they start
to help find the bees.
So as they start talking, about stuff that they could do or armor they could make, I do sort of perk up a bit.
Sure.
And I ask them, obviously they're not working in metal; they're working in other things. But I need something for just the chest. My arms move, my legs move. I roll, I dodge. But I need something for the chest. Basically, I'm trying to get the equivalent of a breastplate.
Sure.
Obviously, we're leaving in the morning. You might not be able to make it by then, but if we come back, would you be able to have that?
I would say they kind of look at they again they're not very diverse in what they're able to make, but they know about the other armor, so they're like, that's what we make, is essentially how they look at it. And you do see it doesn't seem to be like if anyone who's wearing armor, they're wearing that type of coconut armor.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Okay.
need to be something else. There, as you're talking around, there is a woman who came to kind of seek an audience that, well, they're all women, but does talk to you and has this shawl that's woven of spider silk. And she says, this is not what you are exactly asking for, but a friend of mine left this island long, long ago. If you would be willing to, after I hope you leave and are successful, look for her and help her if you find her, and just give her the love of her wife, I would be willing to give this to you.
I'll take a look at it. And what is it?
I would say you kind of pull with it. At first, it looks extremely fragile, and as you pull, you realize like it's resilient, like it's very tough. And as you pull, you actually pull 15 feet of a thread from it, and you see after you do so, it almost starts to reweave itself. So basically, you can get 15 feet of thread from this a day, whether it's one or several, but to make up 15 feet. And as you just realize, like it's just extremely taut, and as you kind of smack it, as you're holding the shawl, you feel it like in your brain vibrate. And so you seem to be able to sense any vibrations, any thread of this would be able to come off. She says, as long as you're not too far away, you know if someone touches a thread.
And what was the name of the person we were looking for?
Says her name is Oriel, actually. Sorry.
Thank you.
Did this person that we were speaking to give us their name?
Maybe if you ask her, yeah, she says her name is Krental.
Kronto. Thank you, Kronto.
Yeah, I would say with this is about the offerings that you guys have and the promises made. And you can take your rest unless there's anything else anyone else would like to do.
Is that everybody who wanted to come talk to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was a few, but they all kind of went. They ended up kind of going all in with Thola on what they had given her.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, cheers, everyone. Let's relax for the night.
Oh, well, toast to that.
All right. So, in the morning, you are given like a general sense of the center of the island, as far as from the city. Again, with the high jungle, it's very hard to navigate by the sun. It's almost like a dark canopy at this point. So navigation is hard, but you are able to go through there. So
as we're getting ready to leave,
yes,
I turn to the queen. Thank you for your hospitality and the hospitality of your city. Well, this is different from home. It is still good to be at home in the jungle again. And I hand her the golden coin that I've carved to be the flower that is the diadem.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Hopefully we'll be back.
She smiles and just says, "We thank you so much for your gift," and bows her head. All right. So with this, you guys begin to set out, and what you do notice is as you kind of go from where they happened, that there is actually where there was you were expecting this thick undergrowth, but the vines have stayed, making a clearer well, I've stayed and moved so that there's still like some navigation because stuff has grown back, but it's not as dense as you were told.
Interesting.
So it's not like just one path, but there's a lot of wreckage from kind of this big movement out, so that the travel will probably be quite faster.
Just to plant the marker on marching order. Now that Mal's on land again, he's probably going to take the front and spearhead the whole expedition. And as you watch him stalk around a little bit, you can tell he's a little bit stealthy, but he's also very survival aware, like very much like sniffing around, understanding, exploring, and orienting around the environment as it changes, almost like he's stalking something, but like probably 10 or 15 feet out in front of the group for the most part.
Yeah, so give me a general marching order. I'll just kind of make a quick note of it over here.
Put me up front.
Yeah. And so where's Tonk in this?
Well, I am probably the slowest of everyone. I only has 25 feet movement.
Yeah, I'll be
Jagger.
second probably.
Second. And so, Jajal, are you third or are you in the rear?
I'm comfortable with third. I'll go wherever everyone else wants. Like I'll fill in wherever everyone else wants to. Does not want to go.
All right. So
Yeah, I'll be in the back then, and sort of similar to the way Mal was talking, like Tonk is used to doing covert military operations in the cover of the forest.
yeah.
Like,
and I would say at this point too, Tonk, give me a nature check.
$11.
Yeah, you're seeing all these gadgets, and there's just something in you that you grew up in the forest and you never used the natural abilities of where you were to this extent. Like used it for cover, but never like you were always thinking of what can I get from somewhere else. And it's kind of interesting. You're seeing these people who are making some things that are without using magic are above the technology level in some ways are more efficient than things. And I think as you're looking at this kind of vast natural resource hub, you're not getting ideas with the 11, but you're kind of like there's just something that's starting to kind of churn of there are other ways to do things, I think. So here we go. For this first hour of travel, I just need someone to roll a d20.
No mods, no stealth, no nothing, or just straight D20 or
20.
what?
Nat 20.
Nat 20. All right, there you go. And go ahead. And somebody else give me a D10.
I think I have one right in front of me here. Hold on. That's a 6.
Okay, 6, and give me another D10.
Oh, 8.
8. Okay. Excellent. And then actually I'll roll this one. Yeah. you guys, you begin so you're doing this hour, and there's just a lot of different types of places. Again, these trees are thick, like from your perspective, they're maybe like 50, 60 feet wide, just enormous things that you're trying to make your way through. And eventually you come across this gully that, again, very strange, as though kind of when everything grew, this maybe was small but had been enlarged and kind of split earth a little bit. But it's this deep chasm that you're going to have to make your way across to get further in the direction you think is there. You do see there's a kind of what would be a stick lying across the gully that is somewhat stable. To you guys is probably, I guess, kind of funny because it looks like a stick and yet it's humongous here. But it's about 5 feet wide.
And it's a stick. It's not like a huge honking tree trunk. Just like it's a 5 foot wide stick.
Yeah.
Does it look like it's rooted some on both sides? Does it look like it's stable, like kick a little bit? Does it move?
I would say, yeah, it's not rooted. As you kick it, it does wiggle a bit. And so you think that, I mean, you maybe get across, but it's not stable in that sense. Because it's like perfectly round and you can see where it was broken off of maybe a large tree above.
And how deep is this?
It's about 200 feet.
Oh.
All right. So you say it's perfectly round.
Mm-hmm. About. I mean, there's some bumps here or there, but it's fairly round for the stick. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it looks natural, so it's naturally round. If you get what I'm going through.
What I would like to do is dig in the ground directly underneath the stick.
Okay.
So that while it's round, it's sunk in the earth a little bit. And so even though it's round, it can't really, it might be able to spin in place, but it's not going to just roll.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I realize I can't do anything to stabilize the other side just yet.
Right.
But I want to stabilize at least one of the sides.
Yeah. Let's you can argue with me if you want on this, because but I'd say maybe let's do a sleight of hand check.
Absolutely. 21.
Yeah. I'd say with this is you're able to move and kind of figure out, because the thing is you figure out like the physics here, which is why I kind of go sleight of hand a little bit, try to get it moving. And it's more finesse than it is just digging. Yeah, you feel that you've got it where, at least on this side, like you said, as you move it, it seems to stay in place at least. Doesn't seem to move, I guess, along the ground.
So once it's nice and stable, I'm going to take the first 5 or 10 steps out onto this stick and stay kind of low. So if something like really rocks and rolls, I probably grab onto it. Let me just start the first foray across the stick to see how stable it really is.
Yeah. You make your way. It's as you carefully and you're kind of like reducing your movement. So you're kind of taking one step at a time here. Every once in a while, you do feel like it might begin to you might have like a rolling log situation trying to keep on, but you're able to redo your weight and reshift to keep it from doing that, moving very slowly.
So I'm going to go ahead and keep making progress across it if I can. Wary for it to roll underneath me, but I'm going to be the trouble in that sees if it can get its way across.
And I'm going to throw, I'm going to say, here, and I throw rope to Mal.
Okay. All right. So you're waiting for him to be all the way on the other side before you throw it, or?
No, I was gonna like when he was like 5 feet, like 5
Okay,
feet,
yeah,
10
sure,
feet,
sure,
that's
sure,
all.
sure, sure. Okay, perfect.
How wide is this gully?
Wide, it is about 300 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
So we could go around. It'll just take a while.
I don't.
So I was going wide across. If you're talking about how long, you can't really see the ends of it.
Ah, okay.
So I was going wide across. If the
Yeah.
I was giving you.
I don't have a 300-foot long piece of rope. I got a 50-foot piece of rope. So there's one more thing I could do to potentially stabilize this a little bit more, but I don't want to do it while Mal's on the stick. So let's see how well Mal does.
You go, Mao. Woo.
Dun, 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 dun. By the way, proficient in acrobatics, so shouldn't be that hard for me, but we'll see.
Okay.
Do some backflips on it. Do a backflip.
Do a barrel roll.
All right. So what are you trying to do? Sorry.
Just coasting my way across it.
Go
Nice
song.
and
Yeah,
smooth.
yeah. So I'd say so. I guess you guys don't have the same rope, but yeah, you're able to get across pretty easily.
Cool.
So the one thing that I want to do, I have wood carver's tools, and I basically want to put. If you think of the tree as round like this, I want to put a hole going up and inwards here and up and inwards here,
Okay.
and then grab 2 sticks, jab them into the holes, and rest them into the ground, so that it can't roll because it's being braced by those 2 sticks.
Yeah. Give me a wood carver's tools check then. Would use Dex as the ability there. Good old artificers. I love it.
25.
25. Yeah. I mean, you make it. I mean, this is like some high engineering with very low stuff, and you're able to kind of get it in there. And it's for this. It actually, you move it. It doesn't seem to want to even do the circle in place. It's very sturdy.
Cool. I'll cross it now.
So as I notice Gizmo reinforcing with sticks, I do basically the exact same thing myself on the other side and just sit down on the log with legs out in 2 directions, like stabilizing it in case it rolls from like, if it works there, then it should work here.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, and I'd say just for fun, make a strength check for me. Just to note this.
12 on my side.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Yeah, so I'll say you guys are actually able to cross this fairly well between the ingenuity and the daring of Mal. Engineer Tonks, daring of Mal, you guys get across very, very well. As you begin through, you do begin to hear approaching of several I would say creatures through the forest kind of towards your way.
Well, I'm definitely going
Hop in the
to
bush.
get to the side, even though I'm not stealthy,
Let's-
but you know.
Get a little stealthy. Just like get in the bush a little bit, like ease in.
Okay, make a group stealth check for me.
Oh, I'm gonna have to roll twice.
Hold on. This is a group stealth check. Jajal should do it.
Oh, you want me to roll? Okay.
Well, everyone rolls. So this
Yeah,
is
everyone
everyone
rolls.
rolls.
Yeah, it's like-
everyone. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, that's a 20 for the first one. I have to take lower, and 16.
There you
So-
go.
Plus 2, so 18.
Nice.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I rolled a 3, so that's 8.
I rolled a natural 20 plus 6, 26.
Jeez. Very nice. All right. So you watch this kind of happen, and there are you see four Ohatu Otu make their way, and they have a large beetle that one is riding, and kind of they're pulling different sacks along the ground.
Do these O2 have fungi growing in weird places on their head?
Make a perception check.
Fang.
18.
You look, they actually don't. They look fairly, and the way that they were looking around, they look fairly like intelligent, autonomous creatures.
Right. I'll step out and flag them.
All right. You see a few of them, and one of them introduces himself. You mean like, I am Tiao. You are flesh creatures. Have they found new champions?
Yes, the queen is having us go in, face the fungus.
I see.
Can you tell us of anything? You're coming from the direction we're going.
Unfortunately, I think we've been traveling in circles. We can't find our way back.
Ah. Did you come across the stick?
He looks and goes, I don't. I think we don't. No, that we're a different direction entirely.
Well, that way, there's a stick bridge across a divide. That way does go back to the queen, but I don't know if, and I point to the beetle, that will be able to cross it.
Probably not. Probably we did not cross in the first place. Could we ask for help to protect us and make our way back?
Back to the city?
Yes. If there's a go-to, we're going to have to go around it. That's going to be time. Everything in this jungle wants to kill us.
Do you think you would be safe if you made camp? If you waited for us here, could you create a defensive position? The fungus assaulted the palace and almost took the queen. We're very urgent that we get there as soon as we can to solve the problem. We don't want to leave you by yourself here, but I don't know that we have the time to go back to the city and come back.
It's kind of pauses. If you can or not, I understand. I don't know if we'll survive here or not. Things here, we were no match for. Things find us, they find us.
How many hours into the trip are we?
So it's not been much. Like the route you took was, again, very direct, and so it was about an hour. It's about an hour to go back. You're guessing. I mean, it might be 5 or 6.
To go the long way around the gulch.
Right.
I just turn and look at Mal.
You know my opinion. We should be going.
No. I'll pray for them. I'll cast guidance on the driver.
Okay.
It's not much, but it helps with some of the plants. I'll basically just give them to Alchemist's Fire.
Okay.
Like, that's the best that I can do at this point.
Sure. He thanks you. I understand. I guess make haste for the queen.
We will.
Name of her. As this as you guys are stopped here, I would say actually here, yeah, Joel, you just off the out of your eyes, you see something moving in the underbrush.
In the direction they came from.
A little off to the side.
Okay. And I didn't think to do anything. Like once I kind of like disappeared, I wanted to kind of keep that for a while.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
hoping to, at this point, I guess, kind of inch closer and maybe see if I can discern anything from that movement.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll give you that stealth. As you move, you see. Actually, make a perception check for me.
Sure.
An active one, just to see how well you can identify this.
That's going to be a total 6.
6. With a 6, you just see the brush being like kind of moved aside very quickly as something that's on the ground is headed towards the O2 and the party.
Mm,
Yeah.
What do you see there, Jajal?
So I'll say for this, you essentially, it's going to get a surprise round, but you do as well because you're not surprised by it. So you get a turn right here.
okay. I'm going to draw my blade and then get up right on it. And then before I thrust, I want to see if I can identify it before I plunge. Because if I don't think it's a threat, I'm just going to like stop.
I'll say with the 6, you're not going to be able to identify it before you plunge. That was your identification.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a gamble and just thrust.
Okay. Make your attack.
It's a 14 plus 6, 30, 20.
Yeah, that's going to hit. And so you guys see Jajal just like run past where you are and kind of through and just kind of thrust into like just large like leaves like that are about the size of you all. It's just into nothing. Roll your damage.
Oh, nice. So initial 11, and do I add sneak?
Yeah.
11 plus 10. Ooh, 21. Nice.
Very nice.
If this was any like, person looking for a ride, hitchhike,
They aren't anymore.
right?
Oh, by the way, I let my son hang back. No, just kidding.
Oh, no. It's okay, guys. I got him.
As far as cruelty, I might change what's there. But no, you move, and as this thing is like, you realize after you plunge into it, about 30 feet long.
Oh boy.
As it kind of moves and looks, and you realize that this is huge snake as it lunges at you.
Help!
Snake.
Help! Guys.
That would be a 13 to hit.
Against me?
Yep.
Nope. 15.
No. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you see it tries to coil around you quickly, and you're able just to kind of bust out of there. And now we can have an initiative.
Excuse me. All
right, Mal, you gave me your luck.
13.
I did. Trade ya.
Okay, so let's see here. Mal got 13.
No.
No. So Mal, what did you get?
16.
16.
Dola got 13.
13. Thola, Tonk.
5.
Oh man. And Jajal.
16.
16. All right, you can see the O2 immediately kind of start to hide behind their beetle. This,
It's a tank.
so let's see here. So Mal 16, Jajal 16.
I'm looking at them. They start hiding. I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah. So I think my guess is Jajal, you have the higher what's your dex, Jajal and Mal? Dex modifier.
+4.
+3.
Okay. So Jajal, you will go first.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and as I'm like kind of trying to like jump and like bounce off of the coiling snake, I want to try to like plunge the blade in real quick before I take off back and put some distance between me and the attacker.
Okay, so you're gonna plunge and then like bonus action disengage and move away is what
Yeah.
you're going through. Okay. Perfect. All right, roll to hit.
Or don't you have something where if you attack a thing, it doesn't get add-ups on you?
Pretty much.
Right, yeah, you
Yeah.
can just leave.
Right. Yes, yeah, because you can attack it. Yeah.
And then that's going to be 20 to hit, not natural.
Yeah, that hits. So
And
take that plus sneak. Swashbuckler rogue.
I'm enjoying this so far. So that's going to be 8 weapon damage. And then 5 and 6, 11, so 19 damage.
Okay.
Jesus.
I feel like we have both a swashbuckler rogue and a swashbuckler fighter.
I'm about it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna back up. Yep.
Okay, yeah, definitely. And Mao, you would go next.
Yep. So emboldened by my new spicy coconut armor, we get right up in the thing's face and just do the double attack snake.
Yeah.
Snake.
That's a 9 and a 17.
All right. The Night War Not Make kind of bounces off its scales, but the 17 does find purchase.
All right. Damage on that sucker is going to be about a 7.
Nice. You plunge it in, and it's a big creature. It's just taking a lot of damage. It is still moving, but it is in a very bad few seconds.
It regrets some
actually,
life decisions.
Yeah, it really does.
Does it look like it's injured or not quite? Like, is it like in a bad place or not quite yet?
It's in a bad place. It's not like on a thread, but it's definitely beyond bloodied.
Okay, so let me go ahead and do the action surge and hit twice more.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, 22, 25.
Roll that damage.
That's 19 additional.
Yeah, you kind of take your sword that was in there and you kind of move it back and push, and you realize you just sever the snake in half. And kind of just finish the job. It is done.
I
Dinner?
kind of feel
Yeah.
bad.
I definitely want to grab some snake to eat for sure.
Meanwhile, like Tonk is over here looking at them. They start hiding. I go, huh, what? And by the time I turn back, the snake's in half. Oh, okay. Good job, guys.
Oh man.
Oh
And
my
then,
goodness.
was this a venomous snake or no? Like, let's look at the fangs. Is this a stabby snake, a rappy snake, or like a chompy snake?
I would say for you're able to observe with Jajal. It's a constrictor.
Okay, so there's probably not gonna be any venom to harvest. It's just grab some snake meat and go.
Just meat. Lots of meat.
Yes.
If this is a
Yes, I take it.
constrictor that's 30 feet long,
Yeah.
there's meat.
I'm trying to eat.
Yeah, it is massive. So yeah, I would say you guys can take some time and get the meat there. We'll say for the sake of this, we'll say you get about 10 pounds of snake meat
Nice.
that you
Is
may
it-
prepare.
To each person or collectively?
I'll say total. Total would do 10 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want more, you're gonna have to take some more significant time. I'd say you find 10 pounds of easily harvestable meat without like spending, a few hours here.
No, that's fine.
I've never written
So to
10
the-
pounds of snake meat on a piece of paper before, so that was fun.
Oh, so I think to the odds, I think the answer is take what you can and probably get going. That should be enough to get you guys on the road again. And nothing's chasing you.
All right.
Yeah, they're not going to argue after that display. They're just like, what do these people tell us? All right. So as you guys begin your second hour, I need another person to give me a D20.
I'll roll a 18.
18. All right, and then I need 2 more D10 rolls.
So
All
who wants to
right.
do those?
3. And a 9.
Okay. You move through. Everything is actually fairly clear. You kind of come where things are good, and it's kind of weird. You don't know if you maybe just found the path that the beetle was traveling. The humidity seems to be down here, but you do begin to hear quite a ruckus ahead as just you kind of go over just one kind of really a stone that has grown and got enlarged, and you see a massive scorpion and frog essentially battling it out in front of the way in which you're trying to go.
This is like a druid's wet dream right here. Like, wow. All right. Well, I'm actually more interested to observe what's going on. Like, maybe we can handle the dinner and get more meat. But
Yeah, you actually see it's over. There's a carcass of a dead auroch beetle, these giant beetles, and so they're like fighting over who's going to eat this beetle.
Huh. I don't feel I mean, my character's I'm not very smart, so I kind of look to the other guys and say, should we? Do you think we'll have to end up fighting both? I mean, would it be more smart to kill the scorpion and take our chances with the frog? Like, I don't want to fight a scorpion.
we should just let them, fight it out, and they'll be injured if we just finish up the pieces.
We go around.
Or go
They're
around.
busy. We go around. Best case, we don't have to deal with either of them. Worst case, we deal with the survivor that's wounded.
Yeah, so it's like a rock, and there's just like a valley that they're in, or some type of.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of flat ground. You guys just kind of are observing from on top of a rock.
Okay.
That's about 20 feet around.
Yeah. I vote for we just stealth on by and let them deal with each other.
I'm not opposed. It will save time that way.
All right. In that case, we just need a group stealth check as you guys begin trying to make your way to not alert these combatants.
Oh,
Right,
that's another
Tonk.
20 and a 14 plus 2, 16.
Tonk, you're supposed to be good at this. 10.
10.
22.
17.
Say, I've been rolling better than you with disadvantage.
Yeah, so you make your way across here, and there doesn't seem to be any commotion. They don't seem to notice you. You do kind of hear the dying gasps of the frog a little distance away, but as you listen, Scorpion doesn't seem to have seen you. Essentially. You continue your way across.
I should have made a wager.
That
Oh well.
Yeah.
was fun. All right, so we're on a third hour. Let's give another.
You go ahead, Jajal. You roll
Right.
20.
That's gonna be a 17.
He is rolling high on this. All right, give me more two more d10s.
You want to do these as well, or I'll go ahead. It's a 2 and a 2.
Okay.
If these are the high rolls, I'm not sure I want to know what the low rolls are.
Yes, yes, yes. So, as you're going deeper and deeper, you're realizing that this portion, you're getting closer to the center, and you see spores that are drifting in the air here. It's choked and dense. The brambles around here are thorny and are catching on your clothing. And it's quite hard and difficult. So you're just beginning to have to slow yourself. You're slowing your pace essentially to not get entirely caught up by all of these. As you're kind of making your way and you're trying to, the other thing you're trying to do is limit your breath, because if you would move too hard, you're going to start breathing more and more of this in. So you guys can react that way, and you begin to hear. Does everyone make a perception check actually for this?
Sure.
11.
Honk just decided he was done today.
That's
6.
16.
19.
19. Yeah. You hear from above you getting louder and louder, a large amount of buzzing as you see two enormous bees descend in line straight towards you.
Yeah.
So for this, we're going to just go right to initiative again. You're fighting us.
20.
All right. Solo's got 20. Matt, what do you have?
Look at that,
12.
Tom.
12?
Yep.
Tonk?
22.
22. And Jajal?
22.
Yeah.
Another tie.
Jajal's going first. I only have +3.
Oh, they rolled high as well. Let's see what we got here. Nice. All right, yeah. So Jajal, go ahead and you can go first. They are in the air currently.
About how far would you say?
I would say for them, when you're noticing them, they're about 40 feet in the air.
Okay, so that's within short bow range.
Yeah.
So I go ahead and pull out my short bow. I haven't used this much, really. Not as deft with it, so I'm going to go ahead and try to take aim at. Are they like equidistant away, like they came from opposite ends?
Yeah, essentially, yeah, they're coming in down.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and aim due left and go ahead and take a shot.
Yep.
That's going to be a 14 plus 6, 20.
Yeah, that definitely is. They're coming that the straight line. You just kind of clock their speed slowly, go through and just kind of hits them right in the eyes.
Okay, nice. And then that is going to be a 6 plus 4, 10 damage.
Nice. There you go.
And then I think I'm just going to kind of stay put.
Perfect. I believe that's Tonk.
All right. I'm going to start off with shooting at it. The same one, the one that's injured. I'm going to try and, focus fire it down. 17?
That it's
3 points of fire damage.
yeah. With that, your fire blows out from your gun, gets it, starts burning its wings away, and it just kind of does this nosedive down, and it's out.
Okay. Then I'll have Gidget use Force Strike on the other one.
Yep. What's the range on Force Strike again?
Oh crap, that's only 30, so it can't get it.
Okay.
Well, no, it has fly, so it
Okay.
would fly up 10 feet and be able to shoot.
30. Yeah. Yep. That'll reach it.
But it's not going to hit with a 7.
No. All right. Then that brings it to the wasp's turn. So real quick, what's the lowest armor class we have?
Mine's 15.
Anyone lower than 15? All right. So it's going to go to Jajal. And you kind of get the sense that it's kind of like there's this kind of instinct to going to where it feels like the softest skin is. It's kind of it's just thing. Is what's operating on it, and we'll see what we get. That will only be a 12 to hit, though. As it comes down, flies in, and attempts to strike you. So that is its move. And Thola.
Dola is going to actually, since there's only one, and at 30 feet in the air, she's going to do Toll of the Dead, which is 60 feet.
Yeah.
Well, it's not up anymore, right?
Yeah, it's down. It's down.
It's down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, still, either way, I'll do Toll of the Dead there, and it that one's already hit correct as well. Like her.
No.
That one was it.
Homunculus tried to hit it but missed.
Okay. I think that's what I missed. I thought I heard it hit. Okay. Either way, it has to succeed on a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
As it hears bell ringing above its buzzing.
Yeah, that's good. That's going to be a fail right there.
Okay.
As it goes out and is ringing all around.
That's an 8.
8 damage. There you go.
And, yep. And
yeah, you see like there's bits of it's like it starts to like get like thin and the wings are drying out as this necrotic energy is taking over it.
Yeah. Now I'll just move a little bit closer and that's all.
You got it. And then that's going to be Mal.
Flying thing, whip the crossbow over the top, take a single shot straight at it.
Yep.
That is a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
Coming at 7 damage.
Yeah, and with that, it kind of crumples up and does that bee curl up as it just falls on the ground and is dead.
All right. Now, is there any way that I could tell where those bees came from?
I would say you get the sense. I mean, bees don't go too far from where they are, but it could also be a few days off your journey or a few hours off your journey. You're not sure.
Just to clarify, are we talking about a straight stabby stinger or a curved like barb stinger? Is that more bee or more wasp?
It is more bee.
Okay.
So I will say that it does, if you're kind of looking at it, it does seem to be what they make the arrows out of.
Cool.
We did tell them that we would get honey.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that is,
So if you're trying to find the that, go ahead and make a survival check.
I will do that for sure. That's a 20 plus 4. I've been doing so many 20s. It's crazy.
Yeah, you actually look around, and in not too far off, you are able to find this an enormous hollow log.
Ooh.
And there are bees buzzing around it.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm just gonna get like out one of the torches and light it a fire and try to have some smoke. And I will actually go in there and try to get some.
Okay, so you're trying. So again, these are almost human-sized bees.
How many are there? Like a whole town worth?
You can see 2 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I will make it quick if I need to, but I'm gonna go over there with the smoke and grab it and go.
Okay, so you basically just have a torch and you're running with the torch. Is that what the picture I'm getting?
Yep. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
like going there, and I'm like trying to smoke it out, and I'm like going. I'm like, all right, here's smoke. You don't want none of this.
I'm going in behind Thola, just shaking my head.
Yeah, Thola, these bees attack you.
That's fine.
I was expecting nothing else.
She totally expected that. She just wants to get this and go.
All right. But you're fairly armored, so let's see here. That's going to be a 10.
That misses.
And then, another 10.
That misses. I say, ha, and I try to go reach in the log if I can, or go to the log and try to grab some combs.
Yeah, I guess using your action there, like each honeycomb in here is about the size of a dinner plate.
Nice.
But yeah, I would say you get some and you're able just to take big hunks of comb, you put it, and it gets the rest of your bag very sticky. Where you're putting this thing.
I love it. I take a little.
And you just run out.
Well, I'll stay there for now. I'll say, okay, Dunk, we're ready. Let's go. And I'll actually just stay there for now. See what they do.
Okay. I'll just go around kind of in the order you happen to be on my screen for this. Tonk, what are you doing?
Okay, Thola's playing it this way. Like, I got the red crystal in my pistol, but I'm not pulling the trigger yet, I guess.
You can do whatever you want. I'm just I have a whole bunch of honeycombs. I'm just gonna go.
But if Thola's just like, yeah, I don't know, then I don't know.
Okay, Jajal, what are you doing?
I look at Mel and I'm like, are we not attacking? Like, they're gonna keep attacking us, right? I'm gonna loose another arrow. I'm just gonna try to attack one. I don't.
Well, you got it. Fire.
I don't. Oh goodness. And that's gonna. Oh boy. That's a total of 10. 4 plus 6.
Okay, yeah. So this is awkward pause, and Jajal just kind of goes, as this tabaxi just fires, and it just goes wide and like goes off and hits into a honeycomb, and more just starts dripping down.
Oh goodness.
Mal, it is your turn.
I'm at this point just flabbergasted, like jaw dropped, amazed, slowly backing away, like, what the hell did you just do? Thinking to myself, okay, normal healthy hive is what, 10,000 to 40,000. We've seen about 4 of them. They only really sting and prick their hive typically. So like, get the fuck out of here. Just slowly fade into the background.
So you just back up away from the hive.
Slowly fade away.
Out of the log. Out of the
Wonder
log.
what's next.
Yeah, they're just going to viciously, or to them, hopefully viciously, going to attack attack Ula, or sorry, Thola here.
Nope.
And let's see what we get. Man, that's going to be 9 and 14.
Nope.
What is going on?
Ding, ding.
What did you do, Thola?
Dola is actually now, she's like, okay, let's go. And then runs like, and she's probably going to get opportunity attacks, right? Obviously, but she'll.
Yeah. Okay. So you just try to book it out of there as fast as you can.
Yep.
That's a natural 20.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
And a 10.
No miss.
All right. So let's do this. All right. So that's going to be 10 piercing.
Okay.
And I need you to make a Constitution save.
Always using con saves. Look at this. Look at this. 12 plus 2 is 14.
14. Okay. So yeah, so you feel this pierce you, and then you feel poison flow into your veins as you start to constrict out. And so yeah, so because it was a crit, you're just going to take the full amount of this.
Ooh, gross.
Essentially. So take an additional 15 poison damage.
Gross. Ugh. This is not feeling good. Yeah, keep on running.
Yeah. Yeah, right, because you run, so it skewers you, and you just keep going. And Tuck, it's your turn. It's just Thola just runs past you out of the log. Just bleeding from her abdomen.
So I'm just gonna run since Thola's running.
Okay.
I guess. You know what? No, I was already further back than Thola was. I will take a move action to try and do my best to keep up with Thola.
Okay.
But I'll shoot at the one that stabbed her. Like,
Okay,
just
so
a
you're using
move
your
instead of
movement.
run. Like,
Yeah.
move.
Gotcha. Perfect. Right.
Like, oh, I guess we're going that way. Fine. Just. Everything about this is just weird. I just want to state that for the record. I don't suppose 12 hits.
It just hits.
Sweet. 9 points of fire damage.
There you go. Fire goes off in the hive.
And I'll have Gidget force strike and miss. Nope. Actually, 12 hits. You said 12 hits.
Yes.
10 force damage.
10. Yeah, this bee is obliterated by the strike. What does your first strike from Gidget look like?
So Gidget is a little metal scarab that when I need it to, it can crawl out or it can fly out. And it basically, most scarabs don't have scorpion tails, but this thing sort of pulls up out of the back of Gidget just long enough to like fire a little bolt and then go back in.
Okay. Yeah, so as it just kind of pulls this thing out. All right, then that's going to be let's talk. And did I think I did this all types of weirdly, but Joel, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming that Thola's running towards the group, like towards us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna shoulder the bow and draw my blade. And then as Thola's running at me, I'm going to go ahead and run towards her, kind of sidestep and try to catch the pursuing bee midair with the blade.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
And that's going to be
Perfect.
a 9 plus 6, 15.
Okay, yeah, you spell this bee is done. All right. So we'll jump Mal. Is now your turn yet? Because as you kind of get through, what you do see is you see this skinned humanoid with these fungal stalks out of its head again. Just standing there dragging a long sword as it begins laughing at you. And I need you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Save for Mal.
What did you do, Mal?
What didn't I do this time? A solid 2.
Oh no.
All right. Yeah, so you just start to laugh, and you fall prone on the ground, just laughing your head off.
Isn't it hideous?
But
The rest of you run out of the hive, and you realize, like, kind of blocking you to get far enough away that you'd want to is the thing that has identified itself as voice of the mother.
well,
It just says you're getting too close. You see as it moves its way up next to Mel.
I look at it and I'm like, haven't we had this conversation already?
at this point, can I touch myself and cast Cure Wounds?
So I was going around for this. I got confused what I was doing. I'm good now.
All right. Since we're now dealing with another thing, can we just roll initiative and have it be normal?
You got to talk. I like it. Let's take an initiative roll.
Like, I feel like this is. Let's just get this right.
It escalated crazy. I was not expecting it to go that way.
All right. 21.
Stop it. We tied again.
All right. That's 10 on my part.
All right.
Just to be clear, Steven, like, I'm tying Jajal and I'm laughing about it. I built this character to be equal parts rogue, wizard, and cleric.
It's awesome.
All right. So here, Mal, what did you get again?
I'm sorry, say again?
Mal, what did you
Mal's
get?
on 10. 10.
10. Thola.
10.
All right. And then Talk.
21.
1. And Jajal.
21.
Yeah. So Jajal, you're up first.
I just think it's crazy because it's like the third initiative roll in a row we've tied. Yeah, okay. So before I take an action, can I kind of look at this and see, is it the same human? Or is it like another host body?
Yeah, make a quick perception check.
Okay. That's going to be nice. 19 plus 3, 22.
Yeah, all the features look exactly the same, down to the cloth and sword.
We definitely destroyed the first one. Okay, I've already got the blade out. I'm feeling kind of like a battle high from killing the other bee. So I'm going to, as long as I can close the distance, come up and just try to see if I can get into a vital spot and run him through.
Yeah, he's only like 10 feet away from the log, so you can definitely do this.
Okay.
So yeah, make your attack.
And that's going to be a natural 20, 26.
my gosh. Yeah.
And this is
so
all in log too, so I'm not making this up.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you just kind of time everything correctly and you're like killed you once and you go through. Yeah, do critical with your sneak attack. So that's all your dice. All the dice you roll twice, essentially.
And the first one's going to be 17. And then 10 and 8. So 20, 31. No, I miss 10, 10, 27. So then that'd be what,
35?
35. Like I
So
said, not
in
smart.
one hit, you fell this thing. What does this look like?
I think, like I said, I pulled the blade out of the bee, turn around, see that. I'm like, what the hell? I killed you, or I did kill you, but you died already. And so I kind of like run over, kind of like sidestep around, jump up in the air and do like an arc and just kind of like go straight center mass and just kind of like take it right down to the ground and then pull the blade out.
Yeah. So yeah, you pull the blade out, and then the same thing, it kind of cocks its head back into the side and looks at you and just gives you this crazy smile as it explodes into spores. And
Oh
I
wait,
will
that's
need,
bad.
Yeah. And I will need Jajal and Mal.
Oh no.
And he was 10 feet away from the entrance to which everybody got. So I actually need everyone to make this Constitution save. I'll say except Tom, because you were farther back on purpose there.
For the
We
record, yeah, go ahead and finish that.
That's cocked. That doesn't help me. 9 plus 2 is only 11.
Okay.
That's
22.
an 8.
An 8. And then what did Mal get?
22.
22. Okay, so now Thola, you did lose one spore thing for your long rest, but you also just got one.
Oh, so I'm back to 1.
Treasure one, you have your fever. Jajal, you have a fever as well, as you kind of find this choking yourself. And of course, now you're able to get through it. But also here in this area, so Thola, you take 6 poison. Jajal, you take 6 poison. And Mal, you
Okay.
take 3 poison.
I'm down.
Oof.
I will immediately, like, I say immediately, like, as soon as the spores start to disperse just a little bit so that I don't just breathe in a mouthful of this shit that just took him down.
Yeah.
I just run over and just, like, stab Thola in the shoulder with one of my syringes.
Okay. And that's cure wounds.
Yup. That's 9 hit points.
That
Alright.
is useful.
Yeah, Thola, you come back without a fever.
Oh. I say, son of a bitch. Thank you. Thank you. And at that point, I am going to everyone seems like they didn't take much damage, right? Except me. I'm just gonna cast Cure Wounds up, cast it up on myself.
I do like this image from Tonk's perspective of this thing sort of looking at us and saying, "You've come too far." And I look it directly in the eyes and goes, "We've had this conversation before." And it's looking at me as just this sword suddenly through its chest.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That is pretty good. Yeah, and it's gone as it's this cloud of spores again. And I would say what you do notice is the spore cloud, as it disperses, it does seem to stay together as it kind of goes up and out of sight, as though it's being summoned back. But first up before it goes. And I would say Jajal, I say you get this because of this crazy hit that you did. It did. It's interesting. It didn't feel so much as though you were going through flesh and bone and blood, but just like plant material
Weird.
and like goo. Like it's just very different the way that just it feels as you're fighting.
Cutting through tofu.
Tofu. Is the blade still there?
No,
Weird.
the blade exploded along with it.
So is that we could think that the blade itself was like organic matter as well?
The whole thing is a replication.
Mhm.
The clothing, the blade, all of its equipment, everything about what we fought is a fungus replication.
It's terrible. It wants to create more of these things. We definitely have to stop it.
All right. Well, we got the honey. Let's keep going.
Yep.
That reminds me. Is there still a stinger sticking out of Thola or no?
I would say with the, I mean, I don't know, Thola, what do you think? Did you remove the stinger?
I mean, I honestly, like, right, I didn't even have time to like turn around, heal myself, and like it was just like all like this. So I mean, maybe when I first finally got up after sucking in all the spores, and then like, okay, son of a bitch, like finally I can breathe. Like it's been pretty interesting for me since getting honey. It hasn't been sweet.
We'll go ahead and grab the stinger off the ground, pick it up, toss in the direction of the beehive, and just say, "They can smell that," and walk off.
Nice. Yeah, so you guys get past the beehive, and come up a little bit here, but I would say, yeah, you guys have probably traveled. You get the feel that it's probably about halfway as you've made your way past these few hours to the center here, and on this war end as you contemplate this crazy fungus that it seems to be able to take human shape, that wants to somehow spread off of this island in any way that it can. With that, we will end.
All right.
Those of you watching, thank you, and we'll see you some other time.